Out of 70,000 plus on hand for this NFL interconference battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins. It is a warm, windy afternoon here in Miami. Wind blowing 15 miles per hour. It will be a factor in this game. The temperature at 80 degrees. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil. Isn't often that two rookies are the marked men in an NFL game, but that's the case this afternoon with Dan Marino and Eric Dickerson. Now, the Dolphins have one of the best run defenses in the league. They always seem to do well against the good runners. What do you think they have in store for Dickerson, Dick?
Well, Frank, I don't think Miami will change their defensive scheme very much. They have a very experienced staff. They've defensed a lot of people. I don't think they'll change. Watching them on the practice field Friday, they were emphasizing the real fundamental things, the things that you teach high school kids. Keep the shoulders square, approach inside out, force it to the sideline, don't let them turn back. They'll play good defense today.
Dan Marino, last quarterback selected in the draft, but he's been spectacular the last 3 weeks, and he's going against a defense that is suspect against the pass. Now, how about the Rams' approach to defensing Marino?
I kind of believe, Frank, that they're going to play those two wide receivers a little bit more double coverage than they have in the past. Force Miami to throw the ball to the tight end and those running backs.
If it gets down to the kicking game, there's some interesting contrasts here between these two clubs.
Well, if the game comes down to the kicking game, I think Miami has the edge. Uwe von Schamann is the experienced kicker. He's kicked the tough field goal in the tough situation. The Ram kicker, Chuck Nelson, he isn't kicking real well. They've had protection problems, bad snap problems. I'd have to give the edge to Miami.
And we're ready for the opening kickoff. The Dolphins have won the toss of the coin and have elected to receive. And that is the Rams rookie kicker, Chuck Nelson, counting noses as he prepares to kick it off. Slight chance of rain in the forecast this afternoon, and the wind is really blowing from right to left. And deploying himself deep, Fulton Walker, number 41. Remember Fulton last year in the Super Bowl game, ran one back 98 yards against the Washington Redskins. One of the premier punt returners in the National Football League, or rather punt and kickoff returners for that matter. Very important game for both sides. Rams right now one game behind the 49ers in the NFC West, and of course the Dolphins going in today are tied with the Buffalo Bills for the top spot in the American Football Conference East Division. Nelson with the wind drives it 9 yards deep in the end zone, and Walker will not return. So let's take a look at the Miami Dolphins as they line up offensively. They've had problems in the rushing game. In fact, overall offensively, they're ranked 23rd in the league. Been playing some great defense, however. They need more from Nathan and from Franklin. The offensive line anchored by the 14-year veteran Bob Kuechenberg. That's an outstanding group. Dan Johnson is a new starter at the tight end position, number 87. First and 10. There's Dan Marino, All-American at Pitt his last 2 years. 27th player selected in the draft, and the 6th quarterback, Nathan, on the pitch. 20, 25, nose down, and he has a first down at the 30-yard line on the very first play from scrimmage. Now, defensively, for the Los Angeles Rams, who line up with the front three, as do most clubs in the NFL. Jack Youngblood, the veteran in that bunch. DeJournay, a recent starter, beating out Greg Meissner. The linebacking crew, Eckern has been outstanding. So is George Andrews. And Mel Owens really coming along. And the secondary, two of the best safeties in professional football, John Johnson and Nolan Cromwell. It is first and 10 Dolphins from their 30-yard line. Nathan 22 and Franklin 37 for the setbacks. Marino's first pass of the day over the middle, complete to the tight end Dan Johnson. That'll be good for 7 yards up to the 37-yard line. Eckern, number 55, making the stop for the Rams. One thing about Los Angeles, Dick, they seem to have the respectability back.
Oh, no, they're playing with tremendous enthusiasm, having a lot of fun playing. I'm really curious to see them play on the road because we saw them play at home, and they played super football and excitable football. It was just exciting to watch them play.
Tough part of the Dolphins' schedule upcoming. They have the Rams this week, then they get the 49ers next week, so they'll get their test. Second down, 2 needed for the first down. Marino, on what normally would be a running down, hits Nathan for the first. Tony Nathan trying to keep his feet. Has the first down and more as he takes it out to the 49-yard line. Jim College, number 50, the left inside linebacker, made the stop, and the crowd roars its approval.
They're just throwing a little check down to the running back. See, he just checks down out of the backfield, coming to the right. The linebackers have buzzed out of there already. Now he makes a miss, gets upfield. This guy's healthy again, and they really think he's going to start coming on the second half of the season.
Second first down of this opening drive by the Miami Dolphins. The pickup was good for 10 yards. They spotted at the Dolphin 48-yard line. First and 10. Nat Moore, the veteran, wide to the right side. Mark Duper, the sensational youngster, is flanked to the left. He's caught 5 touchdown passes already this year. Again, out to the tight end, and it is complete over on the far side, and going out of bounds is number 84, Bruce Hardy, who is the second tight end. That'll take it into the Rams end of the field to the 45-yard line.
They're in that 2 tight end formation right now, Frank, with 2 wide receivers. A substitution's coming in the game, so they have 2 running backs again. But that's going to give them some problems.
Final scores to pass along, and sorry about this one. The Baltimore Colts edged the Philadelphia Eagles 22-21, Dick's old team. And Atlanta has put it on New England. That's also a final, 24-13. We're just underway here in the Orange Bowl in Miami, 2nd and 2. And Andre Franklin picks up the first. He's down to the 35, running to the 30-yard line. And it is first down for the Dolphins. Nolan Cromwell, number 21, made the stop. But the bull-like rush of Andre Franklin, good for another first down.
You're going to see the right guard. Watch the right guard as you look at it. Pull and come around the center's block. Now see him come around there. Now watch him block the linebacker. Bang, he's on to it. There goes Franklin with that power right up through the hole. Nicely executed running play. Just good people doing what they're supposed to do.
And in that case, number 64, Ed Newman, was the guy came up with the key block. First and 10, Dolphins from the Ram 30-yard line. Sideline throw to Moore is good for 5. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Again, that 2 tight end formation, 2 wide receivers, throwing the high percentage passing game, not trying to go deep, just throw that 4 or 5-yard game type ball, and it's working.
Now, Shula will call most of the plays from the bench, but in the long yardage situations, he told us yesterday he lets Marino call the play.
Yeah, he says it takes him too much time to signal it in or send it in with a player on those long yardage downs because too much has to be said. The game plan is defined. He goes ahead and calls them at that time.
We had a youngster here, Dan Marino, right now, number 1 in the AFC and number 2 in the NFL overall. Tony Nathan hit behind the line. Does not get back to the line of scrimmage. Hit at the 27-yard line. Good, sharp defense. Reggie Dawes, number 71, was the first to reach him off the Rams defensive unit. A loss back to the 27-yard line. That will set up 3rd and 7. Now we're talking about one of these long yardage plays.
Now he'll call this one himself because there's a lot of terminology involved in the formation, the motion they might be using, and the total pattern and the protection. So he lets him go ahead and call that himself.
He has liked to go to Mark Duper, who is a sprinter lined up on the left side. He's hit Duper for 5 touchdowns already this year. Duper's been a real surprise. Heflin in motion, the 3rd wide receiver. It is Heflin who takes the pass and is really cracked at the 23-yard line by Cromwell, number 21.
Nolan really gave him a love tap, didn't he? That's a great hit. The Rams are dogging the 2 people up inside. See them coming right up in the middle of the screen, 52 and 58. Now watch him hit. Here he comes right across. Now watch. Pow! That is a real hit. Good clean shot.
It was Mark Clayton, number 83, who did a great job hanging on to the football. It is not quite enough for the first down. They're looking at 4th and less than a yard needed for the first down at the 21-yard line. And the Dolphins obviously very confident the way their offense has been moving here in this initial drive are going for it. Nathan, 20, 15, 10. Nathan to the 5 and out of bounds at the 4. Tony Nathan, needing 1, almost got the touchdown.
The key to that, Frank, was Roy Foster, an offensive tackle playing the right tight end position. He really did a great job. Now watch, the ball's going to be tossed deep to the tailback. See this? Now we're going to catch the right side of the screen. Now see, right there, the defense was stopped by Roy Foster's block. Nice block right there by Andre Franklin, turned up inside. Now he's just running, using his own innate ability. The guy that just made a great tackle made a poor tackle.
Dolphins have held the ball since the opening kickoff. They have now driven to the 3-yard line of the Los Angeles Rams. It is 1st and goal. It is Woody Bennett who is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. In the middle of the Rams line, jams him up. Desjardins, number 70. Collins, number 50. Ecker, number 55. Andrews, they're all in on the stop. It'll be no gain. 2nd and goal to go from the 3. Both teams with identical records of 5 wins against 3 setbacks. Don Shula, at the age of 53, in his 21st year as a head coach in the National Football League, and certainly one of the most respected coaches in the game.
And still having a lot of fun coaching football.
2nd down goal. Hardy, the tight end, was in motion, now sets himself on the wing off to the right side. The fake into the middle. Marino on the bootleg. Will run for it. Touchdown. Marino runs 3 yards for the touchdown. Big block by Kuchenberg, number 67, along the way. Well, John Robinson not too happy about the way his defense played that first series.
I think that was just a case of really fine execution on part of the offense.
They did a great job of mixing it up all the way down the field. Uwe van Schamen with the extra point try, and the forgotten man in the quarterback derby at Miami, Don Strock, will be the holder. 7-0. Dolphins lead it. Look at it again now from the end zone.
This is an option runner pass all the way. He's going to make a little token fake to tie up that halfback in there. See that? The linebacker's on him man-to-man. Now he's coming out. He has the option to runner pass. If number 6, see Kuchenberg, number 67, watch him get that block right there. Dan Johnson, the tight end, number 87, goes out into the flat, and he has the option to runner pass dependent upon what the defense does.
So the Dolphins lead it 7-0. We've got 9 minutes and 48 seconds left to play in the opening period, and the Rams haven't touched the football yet. 11 plays, 80 yards.
This game sounds like, Frank, it's going to be one of those games where the quarterbacks are going to have a hard time hearing the signals and the rest of the people because of the noise created by these fans.
Dolphins ran off 5 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. Climax by Marino's touchdown run. You know, you can speak from experience about the noise down here. You had a big problem on a Monday night game, as I recall, with the Eagles.
Frank, we were in the shotgun, and the rest of the football team could not hear the quarterback calling the signal, so we just kept turning to the referee and say, sir, we can't hear. Finally, we went ahead and snapped it through an interception.
Van Schamen ready to kick off. Barry Renton is in the center of the formation. That's against the wind. You can see the difference that the wind makes. Eddie Hill at the 20-yard line. Correction, that's Robert Alexander, number 31. Ball hung up in the air. Alexander came down with it and returned it near the 40-yard line. Take a look at the Rams' offensive backs and receivers. Of course, Preston Denard missed a good part of the season early because of an injury. Dickerson is the key guy. He needs just 5 yards rushing to become the first runner in the league to gain 1,000. There's the Rams' veteran offensive line. Barber has already caught 38 passes this year. By contrast, last year in 9 games, he caught only 18. 1st and 10, Rams at their 38. Guman in motion. And Ferragamo back to throw. Goes to his fullback, Guman. Out to the 45, to the 46-yard line. In the Rams terminology, they actually call Guman the U-back, which is an old John Robinson term from Southern Cal. Take a look at the defensive lineup for the Dolphins. The front 3, including Betters, who leads the NFL in sacks with an even dozen. Mike Charles is filling in today for Bocamper, who's out with an injury. There's the Dolphin linebackers. And that's an area they've had a lot of injury problems this year. And the secondary, they've had a big injury problem there with Don McNeil being out all season with an Achilles tendon injury. 2nd down, 3. From the 46, on the delay, they go to Dickerson, and he gets 1. One very tough yard. Baumhauer, number 73, in the middle.
They were trying to run a little draw off the center's block, Doug Smith on Baumhauer, but they didn't get it.
So we'll keep close tabs on Dickerson's yardage. He needs 4 now to become the first man to hit 1,000. We were checking him this morning as we get another final score here today. Detroit swamping the Chicago Bears 38-17. Lions seem to break loose just periodically, and when they do, Boy, it's murder. They did it to Green Bay, you recall, several weeks ago. Our score, 7-0. The Dolphins lead it. 8 minutes, 15 seconds left in the opening period. Third down, 2, and the Rams want a timeout. Unusual spot to call a timeout, isn't it?
Must have had some confusion either in the substitution or the play called, and Vince doesn't want to risk making a mistake. He just goes over and gets it clarified.
Want to remind you that CBS Sports Saturday next coming up. NCAA football action. Many of you will see the Pittsburgh Panthers take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, who have really come on strong in the latter stages of the season. Or the Florida Gators against Southeastern Conference rival Georgia, plus other regional action. All begins with the NCAA today. That starts at 3:30 Eastern Time next Saturday afternoon. I tell you, Notre Dame, after losing a couple early, have really come on strong.
They've been playing strong. And, you know, college football is becoming a little bit more intense these last few weeks of the season.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil. We're in the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Dolphins took the opening kickoff and marched 80 yards for a touchdown, with Dan Marino scoring from 2 yards away. And the Rams have moved almost to midfield on their first possession of the afternoon. So it's 7-0 Miami. Third down and 2 upcoming for the Los Angeles Rams, with the ball at their own 46-yard line. Vince Ferragamo at the throttle. Dickerson trying to pick up the first, and is stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Doug Betters, number 75. And look at that Dolphin defense. It would appear that they have taken on Mr. Dickerson as a personal project.
Yes, sir. That's what happens when a guy becomes that good. You're going to see in this end zone shot that he's starting to his left. Now watch him start. He's coming off. He's going to try to cut back. Now look at all those people keeping their shoulders square. There's Betters coming off the tackle's block. He tried to cut back. No lane to cut back in.
Punting situation, and John Misko is the Ram punter. Mark Clayton is deep for the Miami Dolphins. Good kick with the wind. Clayton watches it and fields it at the 6. Normally deeper than you would field it. He gets up to about the 9-yard line. Anytime inside the 10, most of you coaches will say let it bounce.
Let it bounce unless you sense it's going to drop at the 10 or roll to the 1 or something like that. But that ball would have rolled into the end zone, especially with the wind behind it.
47 yards on the punt and a 3-yard counterpunch by Clayton, and it is 1st and 10 for the Dolphins at their 9. Houston and Cleveland have gone into overtime. Will this be the day for the Auburn?
Well, I shouldn't say I hope so. I have friends in Cleveland, but that's the 3rd overtime game for Houston so far this year, and they've lost them both.
Law of averages got to catch up to him sometime. 7-0 our score. The Dolphins lead the Rams. Miami with a 1st and 10 from its 9-yard line. As you look at the sensational rookie quarterback, Dan Marino. Nat Moore in motion. They go with Andre Franklin up the middle for a yard, maybe 2. Gets it out to about the 12-yard line, and Jim Collins, number 50, jams it up for the Los Angeles Rams. This is a rather rare meeting between these two clubs. They don't see each other very often.
Only played 3 times, Frank, with Miami winning twice, the Rams winning 1 time.
And not since 1980.
Tough to win down here. It really is. Regardless of the situation, it's tough.
They've had a great record down through the years. It is 2nd down and 7 for the Dolphins from their 12. Franklin running hard across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Again, Collins, number 50, on the stop. Hard to believe this fellow was a blocking back primarily back at Nebraska, where people like Jarvis Redwine and I.M. Hip, and where are they now? And look what he's doing. That's the time remaining in the first period here at the Orange Bowl. 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Dolphins leading 7-0. 3rd down coming up, and a short 2 needed for the 1st down.
Franklin's been playing banged up. Both shoulders have been bothering him, and I think what Don said, he feels better now than at any other time.
One of the Ram defenders down on the field, haven't got his number yet. We'll pick it up for you in just a moment. He's pointing to his left shoulder.
It looks like Jim Collins, number 50.
Collins been a little snake bit in the injury department. He, of course, is backed up by the veteran Jim Youngblood, who held that starting position for 7 years before Collins beat him out.
It looks like he just stung his left shoulder, and he'll probably be back.
There's John Robinson, the rookie head coach of the Los Angeles Rams, who has instilled a new spirit in the Rams this year and seems to be enjoying it. Says really pro coaching a lot more fun than college coaching is what he told us.
Well, he really enjoyed USC, but there's a lot of other things other than coaching in college. You know, the recruiting, the summer job program, the grade problems, the administration and the alumni. Pro football is all football.
He's having fun, and so is his team so far this year. Third down. Little more than a yard needed for the first down for the Dolphins at their 17. They go to Nathan, and they got him jammed over on the right side. Great job by the Ram defenders, particularly the right side linebacker, George Andrews, number 52, who really fired in there.
He's really playing well, having his best year. Of course, he ought to be a good football player. He's a first-round draft choice out of Nebraska. He ought to be able to play well.
Loss of 3 on the play. It'll be 4th and 4. And take a look now at one of the top punters in the National Football League, a rookie, Reggie Roby.
He's really unorthodox. Watch his different style. I think you fans will notice that this is different than what you normally see on Sunday afternoon.
Now he's punting against the wind here, standing on the goal line. Watch how he holds his hands out. The deep man is Irvin. Deliberate kicker. That's a great kick into the wind, and the hang time is unbelievable. Irvin at the 35, 40 up to the 45. He had a hang time of that of 4.88, which is excellent. Timeout, 50 yards on the punt. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl. Very windy with the wind blowing from right to left. One of the Ram players on the specialty unit was shaken up during that punt return, and we were marveling at the distance and the height that Roby got into that punt against the wind, 50 yards with great hang time. It was Leroy Irvin, who was the punt returner, who returned the kick 10 yards, who was shaken up.
He's a fine punt returner. I hope he really isn't injured, because they'd miss him not only in the secondary but in the kicking game.
These are games in progress in the 4th period. St. Louis surprising a lot of folks, leading Minnesota 41-31. It's been a long year so far for the Cardinals, and that'll quiet things down at St. Louis if they can pull that one off. So Irvin being held from the field. They've got 5 minutes and 9 seconds left to play in the opening period. Let's see what kind of hit he took here, Dick.
Well, he's propped up there a little bit, see, and someone comes in from the side, and I think someone had his feet wrapped up, and he twisted, and maybe twisted a knee.
As we go back to play, the Rams will come up with excellent field position despite Roby's fine putt with a first down at their 45-yard line. They trail 7-0. This is only their second possession of the afternoon. Denard is split to the left side by Vince Ferragamo. Single back, of course, is Dickerson. And Ferragamo to throw. Open over the middle is Barber, and he couldn't hold it. The tight end, Mike Barber, who has caught the ball so well. What, over 100 yards receiving last week for the Rams, but not this time.
I think we're going to see here that Mike Barber actually starts to run with the football. There's a dog coming up inside. A.J. Dewey picked up by the running back. Now watch him turn his hat right there. See that? He took his eyes off the ball too soon.
Pretty good job. You noticed on the replay that Dickerson did on Dewey.
He picked him up real nice, cut him down, eliminated the rusher.
2nd and 10. Rams from their 45. Farmer in motion. Dickerson trying to get to the outside and stopped at the 49-yard line.
That might be his 1,000 yards right there, Frank.
Well, they dropped him for a loss earlier, so right now he's looking at 3 carries for a total of 4 yards, so he would need 1 more.
As we watch Miami's defense play, we're going to really recognize that the fact that they're really trying to keep your shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage.
And welcome to those of you who have been watching the Tampa Bay-Pittsburgh game. Steelers have quite a battle on their hands. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil here in Miami. 3rd down, 6. Rams ball from their 49. They trail 7-0. Ferragamo, one-handed catch by Dickerson. Now that's something that Dickerson wasn't counted on to do much in college. And what has really surprised the Rams is the way he's been catching the football. It's criminal for a guy to be able to run that good and also catch like that.
It's unbelievable. You see how he did? He make it look so easy. Just reach around there, grab it one hand, and go ahead and play the game. Boy, is he gifted.
Nice soft hands for Eric Dickerson. And we welcome also those of you who've been watching the New Orleans Saints battle Buffalo. That turned into quite a game. Buffalo winning it 27-21. We're in the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Rams of the Dolphins. Rams trailing 7-0 at this point, but they have a first down at the Dolphin 43-yard line. Duman, the U-back in motion, leading the interference for Dickerson. Dickerson, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. He is out of bounds at the 3. Well, there's his 1,000 yards. And welcome to those of you who've been watching St. Louis come up with a big victory over Minnesota. You just missed a great run by Eric Dickerson, but you'll see it again, I am sure.
They have Mike Duman going in motion to the left of the screen. Now they toss it to him. Look at the nice blocks right here at the point of attack. Beautiful block on Betters right there. He makes him miss right there. Now he goes ahead and gets a block by a wide receiver, believe it or not, and he's running free.
40 yards.
Come on.
Couldn't quite get to the goal line. He shoved out of bounds by William Judson. And Dickerson will get a breather. That puts Eric over 1,000 yards. The first rusher in the NFL to achieve that mark this year. First and goal from the 3. Not much there that time as the door opened and closed quickly for Barry Redden, number 30.
Boy, he's no slouch as a runner either, Frank. He's averaging 5.1 yards a carry, a #1 draft choice, a gifted ball carrier.
And welcome also to those of you who've watched the Cowboys beat the Giants 38-20. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil in the Orange Bowl, and right now the Los Angeles Rams are threatening to tie this up. They trail Miami 7-0, but they have a second and goal from the Dolphin 2-yard line, courtesy of a 40-yard run by Eric Dickerson. Dickerson 29, Duman 44, the setbacks. This is a tough Dolphin defense. Dickerson stopped short of the goal line. Thus far, Miami has given up just 3 touchdowns rushing on the season, so they may have to put it up.
And they're the best in the National Football League down here. 3 touchdowns running. That's remarkable in 8 football games.
If anything, Dickerson lost about a half yard on that play. It'll be third, a little more than 2 needed for the first down.
I would expect some kind of option pass right now, run or throw.
Miami crowd, 70,000 plus, chanting defense as the Rams come up to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards separating them from tying up this game. And Ferragamo can't hear. That's what we were talking about earlier. As we said, you know that story. The only problem is every time you do it, the crowd gets louder and louder.
No way you can win.
What do you finally have to do? I mean, of course, you had the problem in the shotgun.
Yeah, there's really not much you can do. But, you know, it's easier for the people when they're in a tight formation. There's no wide receivers there. They're all in there tight. There's a wing back. They can hear most of the time.
This crowd here in Miami really an ally. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment. Third and goal, and the crowd is going nuts. And again, Ferragamo steps back.
They'll only get worse.
Normally you have that problem in the shotgun, but obviously he's bringing them up in the straight T formation. He still can't hear the signals. And Bob McElwee is appealing now with the Dolphins defense to maybe help a little bit with the crowd, quiet them down. You can wave your hands and all that, but it doesn't do a lot of good.
No, it really doesn't. In fact, in this stadium, sometimes it just excites the fans or ignites them, one or the other. Look at that guy right there. He wants them to yell a little louder.
I think he wants to play. McElwee is now coming over to Don Shula, who has summoned him from the Dolphins bench. Of course, you can call timeout as long as the quarterback steps back.
You watch. Now, Shula will raise his hands and everyone will shut up. They say he walks on water down here. He ought to be able to raise his hands. Look at
the referee says, do this down. Wave your hands like a duck, right?
Yes.
Right? And so Shula waved his hands.
Boy, is he a great football coach.
Year after year after year, despite the problems they've had at linebacker this year, the tragic loss of Larry Gordon, injuries to such key players as Jimmy Cefalo, Tommy Vigorito, Don McNeil, He's still got him contending. Here we go. 3rd down and goal. Let's see if they get it off. Ferragamo to throw to Gooman. Gooman drives into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Great fake to Dickerson into the middle.
Really good. Those fakes tie up those inside linebackers playing man-to-man there. Then they cross the man across the formation, and that guy has to come all the way across. Now watch the fake inside. Watch the running quarterback make a fake. See that? Big Kent Hill, number 72, looking for a rusher. Here comes Dewey. Dewey, number 77. There's Gooman running out there. Now he's going to get it in the end zone. That's it. Breaks the plane, scores before Roan, number 55, can get there.
Ferragamo with his 14th touchdown pass of the year. And the Rams an extra point away from tying this one up.
They've had some problems here with snaps and getting kicks blocked this year, and 3 kicks have been blocked.
They've changed snappers here in the last couple of weeks. Chuck Nelson, rookie place kicker from Washington. He's got this one.
Did a nice job on that.
2 minutes, 24 seconds left in the opening period. Rams 7, Dolphins 7. The book on the Los Angeles Rams' first scoring drive of the day, 54 yards. Took him 7 plays and climaxed by Ferragamo's 2-yard pass to Gooman, and Chuck Nelson, who added the extra point, is kicking off again with the wind. Fulton Walker, 4 yards deep, out to the 5, 10, 15. Walker slips as he tries to make his cut just inside the 20-yard line. Is squashed at the 19. And the Dolphins will put it in play from there. Mike Wiltshire, 2nd-round draft choice for the Rams, number 94, making the stop as the Dolphins offense goes to the attack. Next week, the Cowboys and the Eagles, a game that you're vaguely familiar with, and most of you will see that here on CBS.
You know, that's more than a game between 2 teams. That's a game between 2 cities when it comes to Philadelphia anyway. Those Philadelphia fans just don't like the Dallas City people.
That's the key game in the first half of our CBS doubleheader. 1st and 10 Rams at the 19-yard line. Dan Marino over the middle, completes it to Hardy, the tight end, at the 26-yard line. Good catch by Hardy, who was in the grasp of Nolan Cromwell. Bruce Hardy, one of 3 fine tight ends, including Johnson and Rose.
You can see he's at the wingback's position at the left part of your screen. Now he goes underneath the linebacker. They're just waiting for him to beat the linebackers underneath. See, he's not going to try to go behind them, just in front of him. Just there right now. That's his 7th catch for the year.
Yeah, we talked to Shula yesterday and asked him about Marino, and I said, aren't you surprised this kid's doing as well? And he said, no, he wasn't really, did he?
No, well, he really believes in their preparation, and I think he's at the right place to come on this quickly.
On 2nd and 2, Franklin picks up the 1st down out to the 32-yard line. Well, I think you make an excellent point there concerning Marino. It's an ideal spot for rookies. He's got a great coach. He's with a team that's a contender, and he is surrounded by veterans.
And he's come out of a fine pass offense in college, so he has that experience. But Don Shula has a way of bringing the best out of young players quicker than everybody else.
Well, he did it with Woodley in the past. Of course, Marino was only the 6th quarterback selected in the 1st round, and probably a few scouts around the NFL are checking their list. He did have an off senior year after a sensational junior year. 1st and 10 from the 31. Marino comes out throwing. We got a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Nathan is short of the 1st down marker at the 39-yard line, and the call will be holding against Miami. You know, talking to Don Strock about Marino yesterday, he said his nickname his junior year was touchdown. His senior year, they called him interception at Pitt. So they've been needling him quite a bit. Here's the call by Bob McElwee.
Number 68, offense, 1st down.
Eric Laxo.
Boy, this is something that Don doesn't like to do. He does not like to see his team penalized. They're the least penalized team in the National Football League almost every year.
This game started the same time our game did here in Miami. Green Bay leading Cincinnati 7-6 in the opening period, in Kansas City over Denver by the same margin also in the 1st period of play. Our score 7-7. 45 seconds left in the opening quarter. Dolphins looking at 1st and 20 from their 21. They've been running the ball well. Tony Nathan that time for the short yardage up to the 25-yard line. Marino, by the way, if you keep track of figures, we keep getting back to Marino, is 6 out of 6 for 45 yards.
That Bob Kuchenberg is amazing. What's the left guard, number 67, playing 14 years? See him get that trap block, open up that hole? Can you imagine doing that for 14 years and still having fun?
You know, he is the only guy left who played on the original Miami Super Bowl team back in the early 70s.
You really have to give that guy a lot of credit. He's a tough son of a gun.
Second down, 16. Dolphins from their 26. Marino, protection is good, drills it over the middle. Johnson, the tight end, at the 31-yard line. Dolphins not being greedy, trying to get the first down all at once as Johnson hobbles off the field. They're just doing it 5, 6, 8 yards at a time. And now they're looking at a third down and 10 as the clock runs out, ending the first period of play. Dan Johnson, the tight end for the Dolphins, leaving the field. That's the end of quarter number 1 here at the Orange Bowl, with the teams tied at 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota's new cars and trucks for 1984. Toyota invites you to see them at your local dealer. And by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this.
Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil. Welcome to the Orange Bowl in Miami. As we start the second period, the Dolphins have a 3rd and 10 upcoming from their 31-yard line. Game tied at 7, and Dan Marino has him in the shotgun. Marino under pressure over the middle, completes the pass. Nat Moore bounces off a tackler and is not quite to the first down marker. So they'll be punting.
You know, that was different, Frank. Excuse me. The Los Angeles Rams did not go to their nickel defense. They stayed in there with a 3-down lineman and rushed one linebacker. You can see the 2 linebackers inside, Eckern and Collins. See number 50 rushing in there. Now watch him turn and come and make the tackle. He'll appear on the screen. There's a good pop right there. He turns around, and you're going to see number 50 come flying right now. There he makes a tackle. Rushed the quarterback, turned around and made the play. Fine linebacking.
4th down, 3. Roby to punt, and this time with the wind. He had a 50-yarder against the wind a few moments ago.
This was liable to go out back of the end zone.
Fielded at the 6-yard line by Johnny Johnson. They've got a penalty marker down on the far side of the field. 54 yards on that punt and 8 on the return as Roby, the rookie from Iowa, puts another one in orbit. But we got a marker down at about the spot where the ball was caught and the tackle was made. They'll spot it at the 15-yard line after the discussion is over, and then we'll have penalty yardage marked off from there. Bob McElwee is the referee, and he will interpret for you and give you a rundown as the wind continues to pick up here, blowing from right to left, and certainly to the advantage of the Miami Dolphins here in the second quarter.
This could really hurt the Rams, put them in poor field position, then they'll have to punt into the wind.
First and 10.
Well, they talked it over and said no foul. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dolphins at their 15 when we come back right after this. There's a man who made the tackle on the punt return, Robert Sowell. What a great story he is, Dick.
Don Shula was talking to us about him yesterday. Played 1 year of college football, made this football team in training camp by covering punts and kickoffs and doing a super job. That was his 13th solo tackle on special teams.
He said in the preseason game against the Redskins, he had the most spectacular game that a specialty team member has ever had. On coverage, Ferragamo. After the 25-yard line, the elusive Eric Dickerson, and that is his second reception of the day. Now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, it's over in overtime. The Cleveland Browns have handed the Houston Oilers their 9th straight defeat this year, and they did it with a touchdown. Boyce Green, 20 yards out. The Oilers are 8-26 since Bum Phillips left that franchise. Let's go back to Frank and Dick.
You believe that they lost the 3 overtime games?
That's
now?
hard to do. I feel sorry for those guys. Here's the no running back formation. No back in the backfield. Take a look at that.
1st and 10. Ferragamo passes tipped and flutters harmlessly to the grass at the 27-yard line. Now, that is a most unusual formation. You talk about your one-back offense. That was your no-back offense.
No back offense. John Robinson told us yesterday they were going to do a little bit of this just to get Dickerson in a better position to catch the ball. They have enough blockers. See, no running back, fans. No halfback, no fullback. See the lineman compensating, number 60. See him, Hara, pick up the rusher right there. The ball was batted in the air, and what the fans are booing about, see Mike Barker's tackle row, number 55 there? They felt that should have been defensive holding, or offensive holding, rather.
Pretty smart play, actually, to get him out of the way, isn't it?
Barber's no fool.
He's been around. Ferragamo with a spectacular week in a losing cause against San Francisco. 5 touchdowns. 2nd and 10. Rams at their 25. Ferragamo faking to Gooman, decides to go instead to Farmer, who can't reach it at the near sideline. George Farmer, good rush that time by Doug Betters, who almost got to him. Number 75, the Dolphin defensive end who leads the National Football League in sacks. You know, he's way above what he had in the past, isn't he?
He is 3 better right now than his best year ever. 1979, he had 9 sacks, and he's doing better than that right now.
He's up to a dozen, and we're just at the halfway mark of the season, actually starting the second half. Doug Betters.
He ran a little stunt with A.J. Dewey, number 77, a linebacker. He came around behind him, and he really decked old Ferragamo.
3rd down, 10. One back offense, and that back, of course, is Dickerson. Flag down is Dickerson to the 30, up to the 35-yard line. Picked up about 9 on the play, but there was a marker dropped as soon as the ball was snapped. Had to be either offside or motion. And that will be the case. McElwee indicating illegal motion against the Rams.
The man in motion must have moved toward the line of scrimmage prior to the snap.
Well, Shula is indicating let's forget about it because it puts him in a punting posture. They're about a yard short of the first down.
What is a punting posture?
That means
Illegal motion, number 78, offense, penalty is declined, 4th down.
that's what Reggie Roby does when he prepares to kick the football.
And
That's the posture he gets in. No, I'm
totally different posture.
Obviously, I mean, it's a situation where they expect you to punt. And they're looking in this case for Misko.
You have those great terms.
Bolton Walker is deep, along with Mark Clayton. Pretty good rush on Misko. We get another flag. Clayton at the 32-yard line. Pretty good hang time on that one by Misko, but again, the flag was dropped back at the line of scrimmage. If it is against the Dolphins, of course, it'll give the Rams a first down, but it's going to go against Los Angeles, and it will be an ineligible receiver downfield. So now the option will lie with Miami. So they want the Rams to punt it over, move them back 5 yards, or will they take the ball there? There happens to be at the 32.
Ineligible downfield, number 86, Higgins, penalty is declined, 1st down.
33 yards in the punt. We've got a timeout with 12:50 left to play in the first half. You think Don Shula doesn't have some pride when he goes up against National Football Conference teams? Oh, look at that record.
His record's about that good against everybody, really. It doesn't have to be a National Football Conference team.
1st and 10. Dolphins at their 32-yard line. Quick pitch to Nathan. Nathan looks like he wants to throw. He does for Hardy, and Hardy can't reach it downfield. So the option pass from Nathan, the running pass to Bruce Hardy, number 84, the tight end. A little bit long. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Funny, he completed this pass in Friday's practice.
This is Nat Moore, number 89. And
that looks like illegal contact right there. That was beyond the 5-yard mark.
They took a pretty good shot.
He's looking around. Hey, who hit me?
There's Eric Harris, number 26. We might also point out that Leroy Irvin, who was shaken up on that punt return, has not come back in. And Monty Jackson right now is playing the right cornerback position for the Rams. Here's an unusual set by the Dolphins on 2nd and 10. Fake to Nathan. Quick throw out to the sideline to Duper. He can fly. Not this time, though. Takes it to the 40-yard line. One thing about Marino that is so impressive is how fast he gets rid of the ball.
Oh, he does. He has a very quick delivery. Watch him make a little fake in here. See, now watch him just snap the ball up and let it go. Now here comes the big tackle, John Giesler, out to get a block on Monty Jackson. See him right here, number 35? The receiver should have tried to go up underneath that kick-out block. Would have made the lineman look a lot better.
He picked up 9 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Marino really has impressed Don Shula with that quick delivery. He just snaps it off. Contrary to the guy that has to wind it up and then deliver it, he just pulls it up to his ear and bang, throws it like a dart.
And the clouds here getting a little ominous right now. We could be in for some rain before this afternoon is out. 3rd down, 1. Dolphins at their 40. Game tied at 7. Trying to pick up the first, and short of the mark is Nathan. Strong defense by Jim Collins, number 50, who was shaken up earlier and looks to be down once again. He came out of the game. Jim Youngblood came in to replace him, and Collins getting up slowly for the 2nd time. This game has been like a bunch of boxers, though, hasn't it?
That was a great play by Collins. But, you know, he bruised that shoulder, and it's probably that nerve is pinched just a little bit, and it's tingling in his left arm right now.
Like a couple of fighters sparring, though. You get that impression here?
Oh, they are. They're boxing back and forth. Everybody's doing the extra thing in this football game right now.
These are second period scores you're looking at right now. Our score, 7-7. Just under 12 minutes left to play in the first half, and Reggie Roby, who can put him in orbit.
This one will go off the goalpost.
He kicked 150 against the wind, 56 with the wind. Low snap. His poorest effort by far. Bounces at the 25, fielded by Johnny Johnson at the 18-yard line, and he is pinned right there. And guess who it was? Robert Sowell, number 45, the young man we were talking about just a moment ago. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil back in the Orange Bowl. Wind picking up, blowing from right to left. 7-7 ball game. Threat of rain now hanging in the air. The Rams have a first down at their 18-yard line. Dickerson right now, 6 carries for 53 yards, including 1 for 40. That set up the Rams touchdown. Dickerson trying the right side. Cuts back inside to the 22. Gets 3, maybe 4 yards on the play before he is drilled.
Did you see he wanted to cut back then? Look at that wind blowing. That's going to be a factor.
It has been so far and will continue to be. Lyle Blackwood, number 42, and Bob Brzezinski, the former Ram, number 59 on the stop. We're checking Dickerson's figures versus O.J.'s on his 2,000-yard year coming in. And O.J. through 8 games was 1,104 yards. Dickerson is at 995.
That's pretty good company.
2nd and 6. Flags prior to the snap.
Mr. Charles.
False start. Called against the Rams, Jackie Slater, number 78. We have seen a few Hankies fall today.
I actually thought that was defense. I didn't see Slater move. Mike Charles saw him move, and he was on the other side of the formation.
False start, 78, offense, 2nd down.
It's a little amazing what the Rams have been able to accomplish this year. They do have a new coach, a new system, half a new secondary, 18 new players, 11 rookies. That's a second period score. Cincinnati leading the Packers. Been a long year so far for Forrest Gregg's team. They're trying to get the second half started right. 2nd and 11. Dickerson. Got a couple on that play. John Robinson told us yesterday that Dickerson does not seem to get tired.
He can run all day. He doesn't get tired. And like he's saying, you know, that an offensive play only lasts about 3 seconds or less. So he's not working too hard in the terms of people think in terms of running for a long distance.
Wednesday. He did take Wednesday off, and of course he rested half of his college career, right? Because he only played half the time with Craig James at SMU.
I don't think he took it off. I think John Robinson made him take it off.
3rd down and 10. Ferragamo. Wide open over the middle. Number 25, Gordon Jones. Former Tampa Bay player who was picked up by the Rams and who has acquitted himself quite well.
He's done a real good job, but I really think here, he's going in motion. See him cross the screen. Now he's going to go up. He has a man to man. They ran a stun in there in the pass rush. Here he comes across. But see, he tried to reach back and catch it with his shoulder. He should have turned his whole body around and forgot about running with the ball and just catch it.
Misko will do the punting. Mark Clayton is deep. Misko standing inside his 5. Score tied at 7. He's punting against a very stiff breeze, probably 25 miles an hour.
Nice punt.
Wind will hold it up. Diving catch at the 47-yard line. 36 yards on the punt and a first down for the Dolphins at their 46. The Dolphins cheerleaders get one advantage when you come out to a ball game early to do a broadcast. 2 hours early, you get to watch them work out.
They look like they're in pretty good condition.
I'd say so. First and 10, Dolphins at their 46-yard line. Andra Franklin breaks it across the 50. Down to the 47-yard line of the Los Angeles Rams. Franklin, number 37. Second leading rusher last year in the American Football Conference.
We're going to see now the guard pull. Bob Kuchenberg again. See him come around up through that hole. Look at 70 there. Go right up in there and get him. Did a nice job. That wasn't Kuchenberg. That was John Giesler, number 79. Tackle pulled all the way up through that hole.
Collins, number 50 on the stop, but not before a pickup of 5 yards on the play. Franklin has been bothered by injuries. He separated both shoulders slightly against Kansas City several weeks ago. Ready, come back. Flag down. Rams will be offside as Tony Nathan carries it for a couple to about the 45-yard line.
Jack Youngblood getting a little nervous over on that side.
You see that 50 on the helmet of the Dolphins. That is the number of linebacker Larry Gordon, who died so tragically during the summer while jogging. He, of course, was the starter on the right side. Left a very big hole, and the players this year all wearing that black number 50 on the back of their helmets.
He's a fine player, a fine person.
Defensive left tackle, first down.
Mr. McElway, that's a left end.
He just knows numbers. He doesn't know positions.
No, he's relating back to when he played college football.
How do you know he did?
These guys, all officials have. Most of them have anyway.
First down for the Dolphins after the walk-off at the 43-yard line of the Rams. Score tied at 7. It's turned into a defensive slugfest so far. Marino airs it out for Duper. Monty Jackson, number 35, was defending, and Duper wanted the pass interference call. And Marino, with a flick of the wrist, tossed that one 55 yards.
He just flipped it out there, and this Duper can really fly. You know, world-class speed. All right, let's see if there was pass interference here. You call it.
No, you call it.
I don't know how you call that. Incidental contact. And plus, the ball was out of bounds anyway.
Well, Don Shula didn't look too distressed. He's been known to be a little excitable.
He's intense. An intense competitor, that guy.
Second and 10 for the Dolphins at the 43 of the Rams. Nat Moore in motion. The pitch, Nathan to the 40. Flag thrown in the defensive backfield. Takes it to the 35. They needed to net the 33 for the first down, but we got another marker. Holding against the Dolphins.
A play like that, sometimes it's a nose guard.
You know, yesterday I kept trying to ask Shula, how come your team is always the least penalized? And I couldn't really get a good answer out of it. At least I didn't think so.
Well, I understood him to say is we coach against penalties on the practice field. If we see a penalty on a film, excuse me.
Number 84, offense, second down.
If we see a penalty on a film in a game that wasn't called, he is still disciplined for it, coached not to do that, because you never know when the critical penalty is going to kill you.
So he doesn't let them hold in practice?
No goofing around, nothing.
Even if they hold in games and they're not caught, he brings it to their attention.
Oh, you bet.
Penalty of 10 yards on the play, of course. Moves it back to the 47, and the Dolphins at second down 20. Marino over the middle to the tight end Hardy. Gets it back in the Ram territory to the 48-yard line, but he really paid the price. Nolan Cromwell came up with another big hit.
Marino read that. Marino really read that nicely. There was a dog coming on. See both linebackers? See 52 Andrews coming up inside? He reads that dog, recognizes hot receiver right there, and dumps it to the tight end. Boy, did that Cromwell is really decking people today.
You know, getting back to that penalty point, it doesn't mean the fact that you're the least penalized that you win more, does it?
No, there's no correlation between that. Some of the most winning teams were the most penalized teams.
And I think Houston isn't the third least penalized?
Right.
Third down, 13. Marino, who can move, floats it for Duper. Touchdown! Mark Duper. Touchdown reception number 6 for the young Dolphin receiver. And how about that throw by Marino on the move to his right, and he put it where it had to be. 46 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Dolphins reclaim the lead at 13-7.
This was beautiful. He's isolated now in a nickel defense, one-on-one. See him now, stick him right there. Now he's heading for the post. There is no safety. You'll notice there's no defender there. Bonnie Jackson can't run with him. Nobody can run with this guy. He can fly.
And he's got hands, a track man with hands. You don't find that too often. He was the second-round draft selection of the Dolphins last year.
Didn't play high school football. They didn't have a football team.
From northwestern Louisiana, where he played with Joe Delaney. In fact, ran track with him.
Right.
Von Schaman drills it through the extra point try. 8 minutes, 1 second left to play in the first half here at the Orange Bowl. Dolphins lead it 14-7. The Miami scoring drive climaxed by the 46-yard throw to Duper. They call him Super Duper. Here in Miami, you can see why. It's his 6th reception of the year. By the way, Dan Marino is now 11 of 12 for 120 yards. He has misfired on just 1 pass so far today. And, of course, Comenetti was the #1 passer in the American Football Conference and second in the NFL only to Joe Theismann. Von Schaman with the kickoff. Red.
That wind took it right out of the back of the end zone.
So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. There's Super Duper from northwestern Louisiana.
2 years of college football, and that's all. I really like this guy in the draft. Now, you watch, the quarterback is not going to drop straight back. See him sprint now? They pin the defense back to the inside. See how it's all pinned inside? He's buying time because this takes time. And then he snapped it off on the run.
He never
Here he
said,
is.
did he?
Here he comes into the screen. He just ran over there. No free safety, touchdown.
Marino never set, just kept right on running and threw that thing right in stride and hit him beautifully. First and 10 Rams at their 20. David Hill in motion. A lot of pressure that time on Ferragamo. Hill was the intended receiver, number 81. It was Doug Betters, number 75, who really pressured him.
Betters is doing a good job. He's teaming up there. See A.J. Dewey, number 77? He occupies the running back right there. Now comes Betters. Watch Betters come off right here. There he comes off and creates the pressure. Those two guys are working games together and giving them some problems.
Hey, Dickerson's getting a workout with Dewey over the middle.
Yes, he is. I'll tell you, Vince did a real nice job of getting rid of the ball. I really think these Rams are going to come fighting back. They're really playing hard.
Farmer wide to the right side. Preston Denard is flipped to the left. Got David Hill on the wing. Now he puts Dickerson out. Once again, the no-back formation for the Rams. On 2nd and 10, Hill. Not quite enough for the first down. He needed to net the 30, got it to the 28, and Dewey, number 47, or the number 77, made the stop. There's Marino, and look at those numbers that he has put on the board so far today.
You know, the most impressive thing to me so far in watching him play is his poise. He looks like he's been playing this league for 15 years. That is probably a gift given to him by his family. The greatest coaching job is done in the home most of the time, when a guy comes on this strong so early.
He has poise, he has confidence, and he has leadership qualities far beyond his years in the National Football League. 3rd down, 2. Dickerson trying to pick up the first, finds the hole, breaks the tackle, 40, 50, Dickerson out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Gerald Small, number 48, the quarterback on the touchdown save and tackle. There's a good indication of how strong Dickerson is, in addition to being deceptively fast and long striding.
He tried to cut back. Watch him try to cut back. Then it's not there. Slater, number 78, coming off, getting a good block. See, he wanted to cut back there. It wasn't there. Then he went on a little bit further. Watch him drop that shoulder. Now, right there, Blackwood should have wrapped the arms around. He tried to knock him with his shoulder. Here he goes. Sends him out there running free.
No, he's got a 31-yard pickup to go with his 40-yard pickup earlier.
John Robinson sitting there real cool.
9 carries for 89 yards. Ferragamo to Redden. Barry Redden to the 40, to the 35, to the 33-yard line. Redden, of course, was the #1 draft choice a year ago out of the University of Richmond.
He's a fine player. Now watch this. You know the guy that really does a great job on this is the offensive center, believe it or not, Doug Smith. Watch him lined up in front of the quarterback. See him 56? Now follow him. Watch him go to the right of the screen. He's going to get a block right here for him to go up underneath. That was an option pass screen. Throw the ball downfield or lay it off in the screen. Well done.
Official spotted at the 34. It is second down 2. 6 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the first half. Redden in the backfield now. Dickerson gets a rest, and Redden is pinned at the line of scrimmage. One thing that John Robinson told us yesterday, he said, next year I'm going to have to go more to a 2-back offense just to give Redden some work. He said he's that good.
He really is a good football player. He respects him. The other thing he said, he'd like to get in the draft a fullback that weighs about 235 pounds, so when he gets a lead, he could just pound on people and eat up the clock.
Third down, a yard needed for the first down. You saw Bowser, number 56, make the stop on the last play. He's the young man who stepped in to fill the shoes of the late Larry Gordon at that linebacker position. And he comes out now as they put an extra lineman in there in the short yardage situation. Dickerson heads down, trying to pick up the first.
He got it, I think, Frank. Yeah, they signaled good. I think John would just as soon get a guy that weighs 235 or 240 to pound in on those kind of plays and let Dickerson be the finesse runner.
It will be a first down for the Rams at the Dolphin 30-yard line.
Watch him power. Watch him drop the shoulders. Watch this. See, he's a big 6'4" guy, but watch those shoulders go down in there now. Try to get underneath those people, get underneath their pads, grind it out. Look at everyone in there grunting and groaning.
He weighs 223 pounds, does Dickerson. And he is so deceptively fast with that long stride of his that it throws tacklers off angle. Now he comes out of the wing to the right side. Comes back in motion. No back offense. Ferragamo against the wind going deep in the end zone. Penalty marker. Pass interference. Dolphins. Intended receiver was Denard, number 88. And it'll be first and goal from the 1 for Los Angeles. The only thing back there with him.
The only thing you could question on that was whether he could catch the football, but I really believe there was contact made.
Interference, number 47, defense, first down on the 1-yard line.
It was Glenn Blackwood, number 47, who was back there with him.
Here it is. Here he goes. Yeah, contact early, but that was Gerald Small.
It was Small, that's right. I said Small, and the official says 47.
It proves officials make mistakes, Frank.
That's true.
I feel better already.
All right, so we got it right that time. It was Small. That's a 29-yard penalty for a team that doesn't get penalized much.
They've already been penalized about 4 times.
Dickerson trying to drive over the middle. Stopped short of the goal line. It'll be second and goal. The lights are on here now at the Orange Bowl as it is getting darker by the moment. A lot of overcast coming in from the ocean.
A Shula coach team this year is only averaging 3.2 penalties a ball game, so they're not penalized very much, but they've been penalized more than that already.
Well, 3 times for 49 yards is what we have. George Andrews is shaken up. Timeout here at the Orange Bowl with 4:19 left to play. Buffalo won today. It was number 62, Bill Bain, who was shaken up in the play down to the goal line. We were given 52 originally, which is Andrews, but obviously he, being a linebacker, wasn't in there. But he appears to be all right. It'll be second and goal now from the 1-yard line.
That Bain is a big guy, 6'4", 290. He's big enough to eat hay.
Again, keep in mind that the Dolphins have given up just 3 rushing touchdowns all year. Rams' first score from this distance was on a pass. And Ferragamo will try to pass it again. Goes to Dickerson, and Dickerson wound up losing about a yard.
There was clipping on that, but they didn't see it. Dennis Herrick flipped the defensive back from behind, and I don't blame Glenn Blackwood for being upset.
Blackwood, number 47 of the Dolphins, is really hot at the officials.
Watch the right guard. See the right guard, number 60, pull out of there. It's an action pass coming out here. Now watch the clip coming up. We lost it on the screen. There it is, right there. Hit him in the back. Should have been called. 15-yard penalty.
Ball is back at the 2-yard line. A little beyond there, actually. It is 3rd and goal for the Rams.
Boy, this is a tough call right here. Tough call. They've already succeeded one time.
Newman, 44. Dickerson, 29, the setbacks. Dickerson cuts back in. Touchdown. What a move. Boy, does he change directions.
He did a nice job. See, now Miami defense, they were on that goal line there, and they lost their inside-out pursuit.
So a rarity, a touchdown on rushing given up by the Dolphins.
See, well, there's more down linemen in there. 6 down linemen. Now he's moving parallel. Now watch him drop that right shoulder and cut back. Here he comes. He's going to come back to us now to the right. Here he comes. Coming up in that hole. There should have been a linebacker or somebody right there to fill it as he cut back.
So the extra point try to come. John Robinson says, nice going, Eric.
You darn right,
Do
John.
it a few more times.
Keep coaching him, John. That John Robinson's really, I bet he'd be a great guy to play for because he's really genuinely interested in his players. He likes his players. You can tell that by how he talks about them.
Dickerson's 15th touchdown of the year, his 13th rushing, which leads the NFL. Nelson with the extra point try. The kick is good with 3 minutes, 28 seconds left to play in the first half. The Rams 14 and the Dolphins 14. Big game for both of these clubs. Right now, the Rams trail San Francisco by a game, and the 49ers taking on the Jets this afternoon out in San Francisco. And, of course, now the Dolphins need a victory to remain tied for the top spot in the AFC East since Buffalo won their game today. They were tied with the Bills going in.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are down right now, 14-3.
Chuck Nelson ready to kick off. 3:28 left to play in the first half. By the way, the preceding message brought to you by the National Football League. I might point that out.
Chuck's going to have to kick this one into a strong wind. This really tests the strength of your leg.
This guy's the most accurate field goal kicker in the history of college football, but he's had some problems since joining the Rams this year. Wind is a factor.
He was 81.9% for 3 years in college kicking. That's pretty darn good kicking.
Bolton Walker fields this one at the 8, back to the 15. They go with the reverse. Mike Kozlowski loses the ball, but fumbles it out of bounds. So the Dolphins will retain possession at the 30. We've got a Ram shaken up on the play.
There was a great block by number 11. Jim Jensen, a converted quarterback to a wide receiver, and he really gave it to one of those Rams coverage people.
That looked to be Monty Jackson who was shaken up, and that will bode no good at all for the Rams because they've already lost Leroy Irvin.
I hope not.
And Jackson is hurting, though he's trying to stay in the game. And John Robinson is going to have to go to his third right cornerback. Johnny Johnson is summoning to the sidelines for help. And running out of the field is Vince Newsom, who is a rookie. Be interesting to see how this defensive backfield lines up.
Watch him take it up here. Now watch him hand it off. There it goes. You don't see that very often. Kozlowski was a college running back. Does a nice job. He's going to get a great block right here by the linebacker. Now watch this other. See that block right there? My gosh, did he give it to that guy?
Well, that was that.
I'd hurt a little bit too.
That was Jackson who took that shot. Sideline throw intended for Mark Duper, number 85. A rare misfire for Marino, who is now 11 out of 13.
That was close to being catchable. That Mark Duper ran a real nice route. He pushed downfield a long ways and then came back. Dave Shula, and a receiver coach here now with his father, worked with him in the offseason 3 days a week, and he really came on because he didn't catch a pass last year.
Monty Jackson has come back in, sat out just to play, and Newsom goes back out. So Jackson at the right corner position once again.
Let his eyeballs clear after that hit.
2nd and 10. Dolphins at their 37-yard line. Andra Franklin
You know why they try to run that up inside once in a while on 2nd and 10? Because in the 30 defense, on 2nd and 10, many times you widen your defensive ends, and it allows you to get up in between on those linebackers a little bit better, Frank.
It'll be 3rd and 8 as you look at other scores. Cincinnati continues to dominate Green Bay. San Francisco coming back now in the Jets. Kansas City and Denver locked in the 2nd period. And Seattle and the Raiders. Our score tied at 14. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. On 3rd and 8, Marino hangs in there strong and spears Duper over the middle for the first down at the 38-yard line of the LA Rams. Well, the Rams coming in at the number 26 pass defense in the NFL, and Marino taking advantage of it.
You watch it now. He's going to come down there and against the zone nickel defense is rotating away from him. He's going to plant. Now watch him plant right there. He's going to come back to the inside. Sit in that zone, in that hole, and go ahead and see if he can get the first down.
Back to live action, and we get a whistle. Prior to the snap to Marino, the Dolphins have the first down at the 38-yard line. It's the 2-minute warning, which is going to both benches, which means we'll be back right after this. The crowd enjoying what has been a great football game so far. They think they're playing in a Super Bowl or something.
Sitting up here, I get the feeling that these two teams are playing at each other, going at each other, as if it were the last game of the year and the winner had to win it to win his division title. They're really playing. Of course, they get paid well. They ought to play hard.
That's true. 1st and 10. Dolphins at the Ram 38-yard line. Trying to put one on the scoreboard. Go ahead before halftime.
Look at the arms on those guys. They lift a little iron, all those guys. They're members of that 400-pound club.
From the shotgun, Marino running the 2-minute offense to Tony Nathan to the 40, 35. Nathan to about the 32. We got a loose football, but let's see if it happened after the whistle was blown. That would appear to be the case. Ed Newman with a good block along the way. Number 64, the right guard of the Dolphins. Hurry up offense here for Miami. Meanwhile, Von Schaman is loosening up his leg on the sideline in case he's called upon. Got the wind at his back. We saw him hit a 60-yarder before the game with this wind. Here's Marino. On 2nd and 5, lets it go. It's almost picked off. Eric Harris, number 26, going for the interception as Clayton, number 83, was the intended receiver for Miami.
He hadn't thrown an interception in 73 throws, was it, coming into this ball game, and he darn near got his first one right there. Good corner play.
Marino 13 out of 16 now.
Watch Eric Harris charges inside out. See that right there? Nice play by the defender, Eric Harris.
3rd down. Dolphins need 5 for the first at the Ram 33. That's the time left in the first half. We're tied at 14. Rams showing blitz. They are coming. Marino sees it. Pass was short, intended for more. He seemed to read that blitz, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I wonder if they'll field goal here. Yes, they will. With a wind to the back with a kicker like Uwe von Schaman, Von Foot, they call it. He might hit it.
Well, as we said, we watched him in the warm-ups, and with the wind at his back, he hit a 60-yarder in the warm-ups. He's been streaky this year. At one point, he had missed 5 in a row, and then he had made a bunch.
His best kick in the NFL is a 53-yarder.
Well, he's looking at an even 50 here. Now they're going to spot it at the 41, so make it 51. Strock puts it down. Long enough. No good. Hooked it left. Add the distance.
Uwe
will have to get him next time.
He will. He's a competitor. He's won some real tight ball games. Remember that one last year?
Uwe. Von Foot got his foot. Got all of it into it here this time.
You watch. It's going to come off to the left, to the right of our screen, to the left as he kicks it. See it roll around there. Watch it. Coming right over to the right of that crossbar.
Watch the reaction here from Uwe saying, oh, my goodness.
What do German kids say? I don't know what expressions they use.
Good question. That wind is really kicking up now. And the clouds are getting lower and a very definite threat of rain in the air as we approach halftime here at the Orange Bowl. 1:14 left. Dickerson in the backfield. Loses the ball. Penalty marker down.
The penalty was against the Rams for illegal motion on Gordon Jones.
Fumble recovered by the Dolphins at the 32. Dickerson, after that early siege of fumbling, hasn't fumbled much lately.
Most of the time, this is see, he hit him up high in the chest, right there on the shoulder pad. A little bit high in the exchange. You might, if you're going to fault somebody there, you'd probably fault the quarterback.
And Doug Betters not only showing he sacks the quarterback, but can also recover fumbles. As Betters pulled that one out, they'll spot it at the 34. First down for the Dolphins. They have 1:09 to work with, and they have the timeouts remaining.
Let's see how the rookie quarterback operates in this kind of a situation.
Marino, intended for Clayton, number 83. Obviously, the throw was right on the money, but Clayton's concentration wasn't.
Mark Clayton is their big play rookie. Now, you're going to watch what, you know what he does? He takes his eye off the ball right before he catches it. He's going to be a ball carrier first. Now, watch. See his head? See his head start to turn and go toward the sideline? Fundamentally, an error.
I'd have heard the thundering hoops of George Andrews, number 52, the Ram linebacker, who is moving up quickly. 2nd and 10 from the 33. Rams still, or rather the Dolphins still have all 3 of their timeouts. Marino, soft pass for Rose.
Oh, could call out a penalty.
Rose had a little trouble finding it, looking first over his right shoulder, then back over his left shoulder.
I thought they might flag Johnny Johnson for that hit. You're really supposed to pull off a receiver when the ball is not complete and let him go ahead and live a little longer. Joe Rose is a real competitor. You know, what did you recruited
say?
Him.
Let him go ahead and live a little longer?
Yeah. Now watch this. See that? Boom. That's really, you could call that a cheap shot.
3rd down and 10.
I'm surprised that wasn't flagged.
Well, the Dolphins have had their opportunities here in the last couple of minutes, certainly. 59 seconds left in the half.
These Rams, they don't lie down. They're gonna battle them right here.
Marino. Nathan, 25, takes it down to the 21. He's got a first down.
Great avoid. He made that guy miss him. He made Johnny Johnson miss him by just sidestepping him. Got the extra yards, a shorter field goal now.
Now the Dolphins will use the first of their 3 timeouts to stop the clock with 46 seconds to go. They'll have a first at the 21-yard line.
You're going to see this now. It's a little delay. They're playing zone, preventing the big play. Now you can see the back on the right of the screen. See him with his hands on his knees. Now just watch him. Count 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to release. Going to drop you the ball in front of those. Now he's a running back. Now watch him make him miss right here. Little cut up. See him make him miss right there. Nice move. Good balance. Good running ability.
Excellent job on Johnny Johnson. And finally, Mel Owens, number 58, had to corral it. A reminder, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins. And the National Football League is prohibited. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil in the Orange Bowl. That's your timeout situation. And there, of course, is Don Shula, voted Coach of the Decade for the 1970s. You know, he started as a head coach in the NFL at the age of 33.
At 33 years old. Isn't that amazing? That just shows you talent is more important than experience. That holds true with Marino.
John Wooden told you that once.
Yes, he did. He told me that my first year as a head coach at UCLA. He said, Dick, don't be as worried about experience. He says, talent is more important than experience. Go with the talent.
First and 10, Dolphins at the 21-yard line of the Rams. Dan Marino again going over the middle to Nat Moore inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line.
I'm a little surprised that the Rams aren't in a nickel defense right now. They're playing a 3-down lineman. They're short. Right now they only got 10 guys in the field.
And we get a whistle prior to the snap. Marino obviously had 2 plays called.
Los Angeles.
Carl Rams will use a time.
Carl Eckert was heads up there. He called a timeout. They only had 10 guys on the field. John's going to go over and talk to him about that.
It's tough enough defending with 11 out there.
Oh, yeah, especially down here.
So Shula on the sideline, and that's Don Strock, one of the backup quarterbacks for the Miami Dolphins. Coming up next week on CBS Sports, our headliner game early. Many of you will be watching the Cowboys, who won today, beating the New York Giants 38-20 against the Eagles, and I don't think it'll be quite as lopsided as the first time around.
No, it won't. I'll tell you, whenever you beat a team as soundly as Dallas beat a team, you know they're going to come back.
Other early games next week. Atlanta at New Orleans. Most of you in the South will see that. Tampa Bay at Minnesota. Those of you in the upper Midwest and Florida will watch that one. St. Louis at Washington. Parts of the East Coast and the Midwest will be tuned into that one. Yep. And Chicago playing the Rams in Anaheim. Those of you in Southern California and in the Midwest and parts of New England will get to watch that game. It all starts with the NFL today. So check your local listings for the game in your area next weekend here on CBS Sports.
These Rams fans have to be excited about how their football team's playing. They're really fun to watch play. And I bet you that Anaheim Stadium is going to be filled up every week from now on.
Well, they filled it last week.
Yeah, the first time in a while.
28 seconds. Von Foot
getting ready.
Second down, 5.
You'd anticipate here a little tight man-to-man coverage now. They don't want to give him those checkoffs inside.
From the 17, Marino completes it at the 10-yard line. Good for the first down. Nat Moore scrambling back to the line of scrimmage, and now the Dolphins will call time.
That's a mismatch. There's a wide receiver isolated on a linebacker, Jim Youngblood, who's an experienced fine linebacker, but that is still a mismatch physically.
Dolphins still have 1 to work with, so they could run another play here and would still have time to call timeout, stop the clock, and bring in Von Foot for a field goal effort, which would give the Dolphins the lead.
Look at Strock there. He's doing some coaching himself. He's got all that experience. He's been in these games. He's making his contribution on the sideline. That shows the quality of the guy, not sitting there moaning about not playing. He's contributing.
Of course, he came in late this year. He was a holdout, and by the time he got there, Woodley was number 1 and Marino was number 2. He has not taken a snap this year in regular season.
He's a good Pottstown, PA guy. That Pottstown, I've been there a few times. There are wonderful people up in those coal mining communities.
Home of the Pottstown Firebirds, right?
Firebirds.
There's John Robinson, the head coach of the Rams. He is the 17th head coach in the 37-year existence of the Rams and one of 8 new coaches in the league this year. Coming up at halftime, scores and highlights with Brent Nerve. And a lot of exciting games played throughout the NFL. We'll have them all for you, or most of them anyway, at halftime. A big day for upsets, as you will see.
Something different's going to happen here because they just put a running back in and took a wide receiver out. Let's see what happens.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to run it.
Well, they've got the 1 timeout to work with. First and goal from the 7.
They might be going to run a little trap here out of the shotgun. Handoff. Nope. Wrong again.
Marino throws. Incomplete at the 2-yard line. Tony Nathan, number 22, was the intended receiver. He was well covered.
Mel Owens is disappointed. He almost caught the deflected ball. Got his hands on his hip saying, oh, heck.
14 seconds left in the half. See Moore, number 89, duck into the huddle with the next play for Dan Marino. I guess time for one more here, and then you got to kick it, don't you?
Right. You know, on the practice field, I saw him running a running play out of the shotgun, and that's what I thought they might do with it.
Second and goal from the 7. Marino looking for 6. A bullet over the middle, deflected, intercepted in the end zone. Run out by Eric Harris to the 10, 20, 30. Harris cutting back to the 40-yard line. Rams will take over. The time has run out.
Heck of a play. These guys are really battling, Frank. We're going to have a great second half. Look at those guys. Now watch this. He tries to stick it in the zone in between 2 linebackers here. See, he's looking at it all the way. Maybe he's looked a little too long. The ball is batted, tipped. Here comes Harris right now, playing volleyball back there. Now he's picking up his blockers. Look at a nice block right there by Eckert. Johnny Johnson, number 20, leading him. There's Big Jack Youngblood trying to get a block. Come on, Jack, block somebody.
That's the end of the first half. Brent Musburger coming up. We'll be back shortly. Frank Lever with Dick Vermeil. The second half about to get underway at the Orange Bowl in Miami. And Uwe von Schaman for the Miami Dolphins will be kicking to Barry Redden of the Rams. Score tied at 14, and it has been an intense football game so far. There's the deep man, the first-round draft choice 1 year ago, the Rams. Excellent running back from the University of Richmond.
Barry Redden, and he can fly. The ball just flew off the tee, Frank.
Now the wind continues to blow, and it will be at the back of the Dolphins, and it is considerable. As you're watching Roby warm up his punting foot a moment ago.
I saw him punt a ball in the air, 77 yards. I've never seen that before.
Redden 5 yards deep. He elects not to run it out, so the Rams will take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line as we get a look at the first half statistics. Been a very tight football game so far. The Dolphins with the big edge in the passing department, and the Rams have the edge in the running department. And overall, statistically, it's been Miami.
Right. Well, Miami's played awfully good football. You know, the one big play the Rams got was a pass interference penalty. The one big play Miami got was a touchdown bomb, and that's really been what's kept the game real close right now. Those two big plays, one by the official and one by the execution of the Miami offense.
Now, Dickerson has had 2 big plays in the first half, a 40-yarder to set up 1 touchdown and a 31-yarder, which have made up the bulk of his 93 yards rushing at halftime. The rookie running star from SMU gets it out to the 23-yard line. Lyle Blackfoot, number 42, coming up from the secondary, the free safety. Lyle is 28 years old from TCU, and of course a member of what has now become 2 brother combinations in the NFL. We saw the other in Kansas City a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Thomas brothers, right?
Gerald Thomas and Ken Thomas, who play for the Chiefs. And Lyle and Glenn, of course, in the secondary for the Miami Dolphins.
Lyle's 32. Glenn is 26. 6 years difference in the brothers.
Second down, 7. Rams at their 23, showing that no-back offense again. Ferragamo trying to stand in there. Hits Blumen at the 25. A pickup of just 2, maybe 3 yards in the play. And Ernie Roan, number 55, the linebacker for the Dolphins, coming back after a bout with pneumonia, which has caused him to miss 3 games, making the stop for Miami. Third down, 4 needed for the first down.
They were going to use that one back or no back in the backfield formation, really just to throw the ball out in the flat to Dickerson and get him out there where he's one-on-one and let him see if he can't run with the football. That time it didn't work.
The word from the Ram dressing room is that Leroy Irvin, who was shaken up on a punt return in the first half, will not return. We got it as a groin pull. So they're going with Monty Jackson defensively. 3rd and 4. Dickerson. Sideline throw wide open with Gordon Jones, and Jones has dropped the ball for the second time in this game. He had the first down yardage, and again he was starting to look back.
I don't know what he did, but he should have caught that football. No excuse for that. Good protection. Vince does a nice job of just delivering it out there nice and easy. Let's see if we can see what happens right now. Hey, there it is. Catch the ball. Now, boy, high school wide receiver catch that one.
John Misko to do the punting. And most of his punts in the first half have been against the wind, and that makes a difference. This one also against the wind. Mark Clayton signaling for the fair catch, and the Dolphins have put it in play offensively for the first time in the third period from their 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Misko. Coming up on CBS Sports Saturday. Oh, we got a full menu. The 1983 World Figure Skating Championships. People like Scott Hamilton and Rosalind Summers. Athletes from 7 countries in events which combine dance and gymnastics at the World Cup Acrobatics Championships. And John Madden, who next week will explore how several former NFL players are coping with physical problems caused by football. It's coming up next Saturday on CBS Sports Saturday. 14 and 14. Rams and the Dolphins 1st and 10 from the 35. Marino with the handoff to Andre Franklin, and Franklin took it out to the 38. Looks like he was going to get a lot more yardage on that, but it just didn't happen.
You're going to watch the right guard. Watch the left corner of your screen right now. You'll see a guy pull out. Here he comes. He's going to come over here. He's going to get a block right underneath. Now watch. See him get the block right there on the linebacker, George Andrews, and he got up inside, and Darnier got away, and Andrews, Darnier, stripped the ball.
Pretty good recovery, I'd say. The Ram linebacker, 2nd down, 7 for the Dolphins at their 37. As night has descended upon Miami. Nathan out to the 40-yard line. Correction, that is David Overstreet, number 20, who has made his first appearance in the game. He's a former #1 draft choice of the Dolphins who went to Canada and played on the same team with Vince Ferragamo up there.
Don Shula says he's really talented, but he's paying the price for not being here for 2 years. He really isn't totally confident of everything he's doing, therefore he's not playing as well as he ought to play.
So he has been just a spot player so far. His rushing average is just 2.9. 3rd down, 4 from the 40. Moreno's got him in the shotgun. Wide open is Duper at the 45, 50. He can run. Duper to the 40, 30, and drops at that point. What acceleration.
He is exciting.
Is he ever? Duper caught a 46-yard touchdown pass from Marino in the first half.
Listen to the fans. Doop, doop, doop. Here he is now. We got the shotgun. He's back there. He has plenty of time to throw. Look at him just sit there. Bang. He lets it go. Now he's going to wheel. Now watch him make a miss right there. The defenders overran him right there. Now the speed comes in. He's going to cross the field. Look at him go. That lineman's not going to catch him. Oop. Well done.
1st and 10 for the Dolphins. Nose of the ball just outside the 31. That was a 28-yard pickup. And Marino is back to throw again. Rush hurries the pass a bit, intended for Nathan.
Again, that was one of those option screens where the quarterback has the option to throw the ball downfield if it's there. If not, he lays it off on the screen pass.
Duper seems to have something special going with Marino, just as David Woodley did with Nat Moore. He's the guy that Marino looks for. As we look at some other scores, Seattle surprising the Raiders so far in the 3rd period of that game, which is in Los Angeles, and Green Bay and Cincinnati. Just about status quo in the 3rd quarter. Our score, 14-14. Dolphins threatening early in the 2nd half. They have a 2nd and 10. At the LA 31, Rams showing blitz. Marino, quick throw, Duper at the 20. That put him, of course, in one-on-one coverage with Monty Jackson, number 35, and again, Marino picked up the blitz.
Yeah, he did a real good job. The lineman picked up the inside of it. They'll keep it clear in front of him. So now watch the lineman pick it up inside. See the linebackers coming in? They pick it up inside. There's the safety. He dumps it off as quick as he can. Got it to him on the slant pattern. That is a side adjustment. That's not a huddle call. The quarterback and the wide receiver involved just side adjust when the safeties disappear, and in they go and catch the slant pass. Well executed.
Close enough for measurement here to indicate whether or not the Dolphins picked up the 1st down. They're a little bit short. You know, Duper said the reason that Marino and he work together so well is that they've been on the 2nd team, so they're always playing with each other up until this year and up until the start of the regular season in preseason. And so they've had a lot of practice.
Well, I really think that this guy Marino could throw the ball to any receiver they line up out there the way he's throwing it right now. But they do work well together.
He is now 18 out of 28 for 204 yards. 3rd down, less than a yard. Nathan climbs over the pile and should have the 1st down at the 19-yard line. Crowd loved it. Near capacity, 70,000 plus on hand here in the Orange Bowl to cheer their Dolphins.
He went right up over the top of Big Bob Kuchenberg, the left guard, and John Geisler, number 79. Now watch him go. Here's the I formation, fullback. Franklin leading in there. Now watch him go right up inside, get up in the air, get over that pile, 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Dolphins at the Ram 20. That's Bruce Hardy, the tight end, number 84, moving to the right side. Marino drops straight back. A bullet over the middle. Incomplete at the 10-yard line as he tried to thread that one to Tony Nathan, number 22.
Well, the linebackers converged on that and really gave him a headache from each side. He's getting up slow and walking back. Good job by Carl Eckert, number 55.
Might point out when Marino threw that interception right at the end of the 1st half, it was the first time that he had been intercepted in his last 96 throws.
There's Carl Eckert. He's a good football player out of San Jose State. He's had some career injury problems, but right now he's healthy and he's playing well.
Second down, 10. A lot of movement by the Dolphins before the snap there. Fake to Nathan. They go to Duper outside, and Duper is run out of bounds at the 13-yard line. You saw Franklin move on the wing off to the right side, and Hardy also move off to the right. The fake to Nathan and the throw to Duper.
Here we go. He's going to fake up inside to freeze the linebacker. See him freeze Jim Youngblood, number 53. Now he has both linemen out there in front of him. John Giesler, 79, and Bob Kuchenberg, 67. Duper should have tried again to get back underneath that quick screen blocking of those two offensive linemen. He might have been able to find a lane.
Dolphins knew they had something special with Duper when they played him against Buffalo, and he got over 200 yards receiving at his first start, which was also Marino's first start. Third down, 4 from the 14. Again, the Rams with the blitz. Marino to Duper. There's a flag down. He's to the 3-yard line. A penalty marker thrown as Duper makes his 6th catch of the football game, and I believe it's going to go against Miami. Illegal motion against the Dolphins. Will wipe out the catch.
Again, that was a safety blitz, and they side adjusted it. Just an automatic on the line of scrimmage, just through vision automatic. They don't call it orally. Well executed, but again, called back because of the penalty.
Bob McElwee, the referee, walks off the 5 yards. Here's the call. Well, helps if you turn the mic on, but she...
Illegal motion, number 83, Mark Clayton, a wide receiver.
You read lips well. That moves it back to the 18-yard line, makes it now 3rd down and 10 for all intents and purposes. And Marino from the shotgun completes the pass, but not enough for the first down to the 15-yard line, and that will undoubtedly bring on Von Foot. Now, you'll recall, as Nathan took the pass there, you recall late in the first half, the Dolphins were down in this territory twice. He missed a 50-yarder, and then, of course, never got a chance to kick the second one because of the interception.
What the Rams did then, they were trying to play games with a quarterback. They were trying to play games with Dan Mariano. He was up there. They were faking the blitz, and then they didn't blitz. Marino read it, went to the right receiver.
This will be a 33-yard effort with the wind to take the lead for the Dolphins. Couldn't be much better than that. Miami 17, Los Angeles 14. We'll be back in just a moment. Frank Lever with Dick Vermeil at the Orange Bowl in Miami. 8 minutes, 36 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. And the Dolphins have recaptured the lead from the Rams 17-14. In as intense a football game as you will see. Von Schumann, who just authored the 32-yard field goal, will kick off, and the Rams once again will deploy Barry Redden.
I doubt very much they're going to get a return because, again, he's kicking with a wind to his back.
I can't recall one being returned in this game from this end of the field. That's 7 yards deep. And again, they'll bring it out to the 20, and again, it gives you an indication of how strong that wind is from right to left. So the Rams will take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. You look at that one-back offense, and you know, on paper, it looks simple. You only got one guy back there. Why don't you put 2 people on him? Why don't you stop him? Why isn't it that simple?
Well, first off, the one-back offense, as the Rams are running, if the guy is deep, it's like being an I-tailback, and the fullback is lined up close to the line of scrimmage, or U-back, and he moves around and does the blocking. But the defenders tend to overreact to the one guy because they can all see him, and they over-pursue, and you get the cutback. Plus, they run the little counter moves, and they overreact to it and get the cutback.
Ferragamo's passing statistics so far, as he has thrown the ball sparingly. Thrown on 1st down, this time to Dickerson, out to the 20. And Dickerson bumped out of bounds at the 22 after a pickup of just 2 yards on the play.
Safe.
Slips and falls. Got a different surface over there, which is near the stands. It's an odd combination of surfaces here at the Orange Bowl. You've got grass on the field, then you've got artificial turf around the benches, and then you've got almost a concrete type surface up near the stands.
Well, the turf is there. The artificial turf is under each bench because of the thunderstorms and that they get here, the tropical type storm, and it prevents for the people from having to stand in the mud. You know?
Dolphins did a little of that in Baltimore last week.
Washington Redskin game the same way.
Second down, 7. Rams at their 23. Dickerson taking the pitch. There's that cutback across the 25 to the 27-yard line. It took a pretty good lick from A.J. Douay, number 77.
For a minute, it looked like he was going to have the cutback, but Douay really filled it nicely. Good discipline on his part. Of course, he's a darn good football player, that guy. He's made many big plays. Remember the big plays last? 3 interceptions against the Chargers in the playoff game?
Against the Jets.
Was it the Jets?
Yeah.
That's right.
And, of course, last week he missed the ball game because of an injury, but he's back in there now. That carry, by the way, puts Dickerson over the 100-yard rushing mark for, I believe, the 5th time this year. He's at 101 on 14 carries. 3rd and 2. Rams at their 28. Barry Redden picks up the first down.
He's a very strong runner. Of course, he's a very physical guy. Frank, you know that guy was an All-American weightlifter in college, bench pressing about 450 pounds.
A running back, that's rather unreal.
That's a lot of lifting strength.
It's a first down for the Rams at their 32-yard line. Rams, a team with a lot of enthusiasm, reflecting their coaching staff and John Robinson. Redden, as Dickerson getting a breather here. Redden takes it to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And Bob Brzezinski, the former Ram, number 59, making the stop.
Redden is down there. I think he's just got some dirt in his eyes. Boy, that was a great linebacking by Bob Brzezinski. Bob did a super job on this. Now watch it coming to the right of our screen. You're going to pick up the tight end. Mike Barber, number 86, is blocking on him. See, right there. Now watch Brzezinski just playing him. Works with his hands. Again, what did he do? He kept his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, moved right along there, did a super job. Not so much square, but parallel to the line of scrimmage.
6:53 left in the 3rd period. Timeout with the Dolphins leading by 3. Miami Dolphin bench. Most of them on their feet as the rain has begun to fall here in the Orange Bowl in Miami. It got darker and darker as the first half progressed, and it is coming down buckets suddenly.
I mentioned that tropical rainstorm a little too soon, didn't I, Frank?
Very timely, I'd say. I mean, that rainfall went from nothing to 90 miles an hour in about 5 seconds flat.
I think it's just passing by, though. I see some pretty good sky off to the left here.
Famous last words, huh? As we head back to play, Rams with the football, 2nd down 8 from their 34. Ferragamo hit as he delivered the football. Incomplete. Good rush that time by Doug Betters, who came about as close as you can get to his 13th sack of the year. Betters, number 75.
Pretty good penetration. Now, Betters is coming from the right of your screen, being blocked by number 78, Jackie Slater. See him right there? Doing a good job. There, here he comes. He's going to get the arm right there. Boy, I'll tell you, that hurts the quarterback's arm. Boy, does that hurt. Good job by Betters. The coverage held off the patterner. I think he'd have thrown a little bit sooner, and it wouldn't have been a factor.
3rd and 8. Preston Denard moving across the backfield, sets in the slot off to the right. Inside of Farmer. Now Denard takes off left. Big rush. Ferragamo is sacked. Bowser, number 56, was in there. Betters, number 75. I don't know who they'll credit that sack to, but they were both all over Ferragamo and dropped him for the first time in this football game.
Come around to the left of the screen now. You're going to see that big Bill Bain, number 62, gets beat right to the outside. See him? He's holding him right there. Should have been holding. He got beat. That's a linebacker, Charles Bowers. And he has that great speed and acceleration. He got around that big fella.
John Misko, the Ram punter, trying to concentrate here with the rain pouring down and the wind blowing into his face. Nice high kick. Fielded by Clayton at the 30, 35. Trying to get to the sideline and the wall, but Alexander knocks him out of bounds at the 40. It will be 1st and 10 Dolphins when we come back in the rain in just a moment. A torrential, blowing rain has descended upon the Orange Bowl Stadium.
I hope it's like this tomorrow morning when I'm going duck hunting.
You'll love it.
Football game. Holy mackerel.
Everybody is getting wet. It is pouring. Dolphins have the wind at their back, if that's any advantage. And they also have a 3-point lead, and wet ball and all, Marino has thrown it and hits Duper for the first down at the 47 of Los Angeles. Eric Harris on the stop. Mark Duper, NCAA champion in the 400-meter relay last year.
Eric Harris is playing over at the right corner that time rather than the left corner. He does a nice job. Watch him go up in the air for it. Got up there at the highest point. Bang. Good tackle. Hard to defense that if you don't get help underneath.
Well, when Jackson was shaken up earlier, they put Harris in the right corner, and they put Johnny Johnson, the safety, at the left corner. And that's what they've got now.
They're hurting because they're not playing the nickel defense either with the extra defense on third down.
First down at the Ram 47. Tony Nathan takes the pitch, dips inside, then tries to go outside. And good defense on the part of the Rams' Nolan Cromwell.
Good fill by Nolan Cromwell, number 21, but Mel Owens, number 58, did a great job. Look at Fetters. He's excited. He looks like a mountain man, doesn't he?
One of the reasons he's having such a great year, they said he doesn't have the injuries he's had in the past. He had all kinds of problems with broken fingers and a broken wrist and tried to play despite that. And this has been an injury-free year, and he is absolutely ransacking quarterbacks throughout the league.
He really plays hard, too. On every snap, he's really going.
2nd and 10. Dolphins at the Ram 47. Rain is let up just a little. Woody Bennett, who's coming at fullback, carries to the 41-yard line.
Really a nice job by Kuchenberg that time, Frank, going up inside and trap blocking for him.
Well, he was crawling over bodies all the way to get down to the 41, which would be good for a pickup of 6. Jim Youngblood, number 53, on the stop. He's a handy man to have around just to spot the situation player for the Dolphins.
He's really good. Now watch the right guard. See the guys are turning out. Here comes the tackle again. It's the tackle coming up through there. Now look at him bounce through there. Come on. He's just fighting his way. That's a good job. That's a tackle trap, not a guard trap. It's a different type of offensive play.
3rd down. Dolphins need a short 5 for the first down at the Ram 41. They lead 17-14. Late in the 3rd. Marino pumps it once. Lets it go. Out of bounds at the 21 is Nate Moore. Moore in his 10th year, the all-time Miami Dolphin receiving leader, makes the big catch for the first down at the Ram 21.
This is really a nice job by Nate. See him there coming off the line, right to your right there, Nate Moore, number 89. Now there's a delay being run underneath and a quarter pattern being run behind it. Quarterback had time. He hits him now. Eric Harris, number 26, going to make the play out of bounds. Really well done. The delay pattern was run underneath that deeper pattern.
Rams playing with some patches in that secondary, and it has cost him a little bit. Harris on the right corner. Johnson, normally the safety, is on the left corner. Franklin is down to the 19. Pick up of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Cincinnati and Green Bay now in the 4th period. Score remains the same with the Bengals leading 27-14. Denver on top of Kansas City. That's still in the 3rd. And Seattle over the Raiders 24-14. I just heard the PA announcer said that we're only going to have a 20% chance of rain. It is over 100% of the field at 20%. A lot of movement prior to the snap. Nathan breaks the tackle, gets by Johnson, and scores. On the touchdown, and the rain falls even harder. But the Dolphins not feeling a thing. Sun might as well be shining.
Now again, see the right guard, Kuchenberg, pulling right up in there. He comes right around now. He just bounces out of there. Nice block on Cromwell. He's outside running. Now Johnny Johnson did a poor job of tackling with his hands right there, and he breaks in the end zone. That's his first touchdown this year.
Von Schaman on to try the extra point. It was Mel Owens, number 58. The Ram linebacker who Nathan bounced off of at the line of scrimmage. Now the 2 slippery to handle. So the Dolphins have taken command with 2:53 left in the 3rd period. An impressive drive by the Dolphins in the pouring down rain here at the Orange Bowl. 60 yards in 6 plays. And Tony Nathan, as Dick pointed out, scored his first touchdown of the year on that 18-yard run.
Really great individual effort, got his shoulder pad down. And Don Shula told us Friday and Saturday, he said the guy last year played hurt most of the year until the playoffs, then played awfully well. And you can see right now he's playing good football.
Now Shula's very high on Nathan's performance, so the stats haven't showed it. Gulman fumbles it back at the 1, out to the 5, to the 10-yard line, and that's it. Mike Gulman trying to field that line drive kick from Von Schaumann, and it was Robert Sowell that made the tackle.
Love those kind of guys. They ignite the whole football team, those kind of guys do. You watch right now on the sideline. Everybody's talking to them, starters, second-string players. They ignite the football team.
Barry Redden was the deep man, but watch Gulman come back for the ball here.
I've seen him make mistakes and go back in the end zone and down that, believe it or not, and cost you a touchdown. Boom! Nice tackle right there by the young fellow Sowell.
Crowd is really pumped up now. Big ally of the Miami Dolphins. Rams with a 1st and 10 from their 10. David Hill, the tight end in motion. The fake to Dickerson. Ferragamo going long. Sideline throw is complete and out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
Beautiful comeback route by George Farmer. Did a real nice job of driving downfield real hard. Now watch. He gets good time. Vince drops back. Little token fake inside there. Holds on the ball. Now watch. He's looking to his left. Now he comes to his right. The ball's going to, watch him coming back for the ball now. Look at him coming back for the ball. Super job by George Farmer and a beautiful throw.
Farmer has spent 2 years on injured reserve for the Rams. Young man who was born and raised in Los Angeles. Well, Ferragamo's coming out throwing here. Going for all of it. Intended for Farmer. Pass interference against Miami. William Judson, number 49, trying to stay up with Farmer and throwing that ball in the rain against the wind. Ferragamo really put it out there, right on the money.
He laid it out there nicely. Just one of those things. Those things happen. You know, you can see that these Rams have that great enthusiasm. You know, a lot of teams might have back there in that 10-yard line. Here we go. Lay it up, Vince. There it goes, high in the air, trying to get him to run under it. There it is, right there. Ran up his back a little too soon. That's how the Rams got the second touchdown.
Judson, of course, the young man filling in for the injured Don McNeil, who tore his Achilles just before preseason started. Dickerson to the 25. Picks up 5. We got another flag.
Mike Barber, I think the tight end, and Jackie Slater, the right tackle, were moving.
It's a 43-yard penalty against the Dolphins, who, as we pointed out earlier, have been penalized a lot more tonight than normally is their situation. 4th time for 54 yards.
Boy, the Rams came right back after him, as I was going to say there. You know, down inside their own 10-yard line, come right out throwing and getting after. They came here to play.
Illegal motion, number 78, offense, 1st down.
Surprised me that they come out throwing that thing against the wind and with the rain coming down.
I think that's just a philosophy of John Robinson. They're coming here. They haven't been throwing the ball very much. You're going to go ahead and see if they can't get the big play out of there, give themselves some room to operate. Now they get the second big play with a penalty.
Jets leading San Francisco. If that holds up, and if the Rams could pull this out, they, of course, would be tied for first place once again. 1st down, 15 from the 35. Ferragamo on the rollout. Goes back the other way, or tries to do so, to the tight end Barber. But the pass is knocked down. Pressure by Betters, who was in there quickly. And also number 71, Mike Charles, who is filling in for Baumhauer.
This is a great job. Now watch the defensive right end. He's coming off the tackle block right there. See him working out there. Now watch him. The quarterback cocks his arm. There goes his hand. A fundamental technique that you always teach, but you don't always get it done. Well done by Doug Betters.
Betters has been very noticeable in this football game. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left in the 3rd period. 2nd down, 15. Rams at the Dolphin 35. Ferragamo completes it to the 28-yard line to David Hill, the former Detroit Lion. Tight end,
big, strong guy. He's only missed one game in his career, I think, Frank.
They've been on David a little bit for a weight problem that he's had. He's had a tough time keeping his weight down. His brother, of course, is Jim Hill, our colleague, who works for the CBS affiliate in Los Angeles. Fine sportscaster. Third down. Rams still looking at 8 for the first down with the ball at the 28-yard line. They have to get just inside the 20 to pick up the first. Farmer in motion. Dickerson, 30, down to the 25 to the 23. So he is 3 short of the first down.
Miami did a good job of taking the pattern away downfield and forcing to throw it to the layoff man, which you'd like to do when you have 3rd and 7 or 8 yards to go. You end up short.
That's the time remaining in the third quarter as the Ram field goal unit comes on. And Nelson 4 out of 8. And he's had problems inside the 30 particularly. He's 0 for 2.
In his career, including college, though, Frank, he's kicked 92% there. He's just got to go back and kick the ball like he did in college right now.
Cromwell will hold. This will be a 41-yard effort. It would match his longest of the year, and he's going against a pretty stiff breeze. Block.
It looked like a little bit of a low kick, and somebody might have batted that thing a little bit and deflected inside. I can't tell.
Smothered in the middle of the line.
Gil Haskell, the special teams coach, a little bit upset right there. Look at him. Let's see if we can see if anyone deflects that ball at all. It doesn't look like anybody really touched it. It's just a low kick and off to the left. See it turn it and hit that wind. Boy, it hits that wind and just starts folding away from that goalpost.
Frank Lever with Dick Vermeil. Just 14 seconds left to play in the third period. Here at the Orange Bowl, following the misfire of the field goal attempt. Dolphins have the first down at their 23-yard line. They lead it by a score of 24 to 14. Rams have not scored here in the second half. Marino going long for Duper. This time too long. I didn't think he could outthrow that little guy, but he did that time. Harris was back defending.
What they were trying to do right there, I think, is just get the big play right off the bat on that corner. Not maybe thinking the Rams are going to be playing the run, sitting on the lead.
And it was Marino's last shot with the wind before the end of the third period. This is the way the two quarterbacks compare at this point. And Marino once again with another outstanding afternoon, as befits his status as the #1 ranked passer in the American Football Conference. Just a rookie out of Pitt. The second to last man picked in the first round. And the 6th quarterback. 2nd and 10. Marino, good protection. Whistles this one over the middle and picks up the first down at the 40-yard line to Nat Moore, number 89. Just a bullet. Boy, he's got some arm.
You know why that was open, though, really? The wide receiver on the opposite side of the field, Mark Duper, ran down. Now, what you could have come down and run a square-in pattern. Okay, now, what you're going to plant right there, come back to the inside looking for the open lane. But what really made that good is the fact that the receiver on the other side of the field had such speed, he could run the safeties out of that area.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score, 24-14 Dolphins. We now pause for a word from your local station. The rain has abated here at the Orange Bowl in Miami as we head into the final period. Dolphins 1st and 10 at their 40-yard line following the pass completion to Nat Moore. It is Moore in motion across the backfield. Tony Nathan, who scored the last touchdown. Great cut. 50, 45, 40. There's a flag down. Nathan will go all the way, but there's a marker down. There's a penalty marker back at the 50. Wipe it out.
No, I don't think it'll wipe it out. The penalty occurred
wipe the touchdown out.
It'll wipe out the touchdown, that's for sure. What are they doing here? Yeah, he marked it wrong. It confused me there for a second.
Number 67, offense, first down.
Against Bob
Watch the right
Kuchenberg.
guard. Watch the right guard, number 64, Ed Newman, right there. Bang! On the fill man. He got a great block and laid, turned up inside. Now watch 67 at the top of your screen. Let's see what they called. Oh, he reached out and grabbed him and pulled him down, holding all the way. Shula will really get after him.
That was a full takedown and pin by
Bob
Kuchenberg.
Kuchenberg. Must have been a wrestler in college.
So Nathan, who had not scored a touchdown all year, thought for a moment he had his second of the football game. And he'll get a breather. As things turn out, they wind up gaining a net 7 yards on the play, since the penalty is marked from the spot of the foul downfield. It is first down and 3 for the Dolphins at their 47. Going back to the power game once again. Eckern making the stop now for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brett in New York.
Frank Turk Schoenert has a hot hand. He has replaced the injured Kenny Anderson again today for the Bengals. Here is his second touchdown pass. This one to Steve Kreider, and the Bengals lead the Green Bay Packers 34-14. Back to Frank and Dick.
Tell you, Brent, Green Bay continues to be one of the mysterious teams in the league this year, don't they? They play one week and don't the next.
Well, it's not so much that. They're just not good enough on defense right now to always win offensively, that's all.
Dolphins have a 2nd and 1 at their 49. And Marino throwing the ball. Hardy was the intended receiver, and the fans thought that Eckern, number 55, reached over his shoulder and interfered with him.
It looked like he might have, but they didn't call it, so he didn't.
So it'll be 3rd and 1. 13:56 left to play in the game. We've got 72,175 looking on. It's looking very orange here in the Orange Bowl right now.
It looks more orange after getting everybody all wet than it did prior to the rainstorm, doesn't it?
And it looks very orange on the scoreboard with the Dolphins leading 24-14. And with the football. Moore trying to get off the field. Rams showing blitz. Marino on the short yardage situation. Hands off to Franklin. We got a marker thrown on the far side at the snap of the ball. So another penalty. Again, it should be pointed out that the Rams, who have problems on pass defense to begin with, have more because of injuries today. With Irvin leaving early, with Jackson out of there right now. They got Johnny Johnson playing at a corner, and they got Vince Newsom, the 4th-round draft choice from Washington, in a Johnson safety position.
That really hurts you. You lose the continuity in the secondary, plus it eliminates many of the coverages you might play.
Formation, offense, third down.
Eliminate some of the coverages you might play with your experienced people in there. That's a real handicap.
Robinson is concerned about something as he talks to the head linesman, Ernie Frantz, over on the sideline. He wants to get an explanation.
Lay some words on him, John.
He is doing that. Robinson, 47 years old.
Won 82% of his games at USC. That's a pretty good winning record.
One-time assistant under John Madden with the Oakland Raiders. 7 years at USC. 3rd down, 6. Marino. Joe Rose. Let's see if it's a legal catch, or did he trap it? He's very, very close to the first down marker at the 50-yard line. They're going to rule it a catch, looks like.
The Rams were in a nickel defense that time, so they're back healthy enough to go ahead and put 5 and 6 defensive backs in the game.
They're going to bring in the change from the far side.
He rolled on out. Little pattern right here. They were one-on-one coverage. See, now that's how he was able to get open. See, just one man covering him, one-on-one, man-to-man all the way.
Oh, first down by about an inch.
Woo. Talk about a game of inches.
I think you're enjoying yourself a lot more up here than you were down there.
Hey, this is a lot of fun, Frank. It really is. You get so involved in the game because you don't have any worries.
That's the time remaining in this contest, and it has been back and forth most of the way. Rams have not scored here in the second half. It was tied 14-all at halftime. In case you joined us late, the Dolphins have controlled the ball. Since then, with 10 points on the board. First down from midfield. Woody Bennett and Nathan in the backfield. Nathan. That's the play they broke for the big one a moment ago that was called back.
It was similar to it, but blocked a little bit differently. Maybe due to the total offense he called, but the fullback that time blocked on the linebacker. Mel Owens, number 58.
Nathan hurting as he leaves the field. Second down, 8. Marino, 24 out of 36 for 270 yards. Denver leading Kansas City. Interesting matchup there between the two former Dallas assistant coaches. Seattle over the Raiders.
Doug Knox. Boy, is he a heck of a football coach.
Second and 8 from the Ram 48. On the delay, it is Overstreet. Inside the 40, Overstreet, 30, 20, and knocked out of bounds at the 5 on a great effort by linebacker George Andrews. Andrews came across the field to save the touchdown. 44 yards.
You're going to see Andre Franklin, number 37, right in front of him. Now he starts up inside. It was a sort of a lag draw, they call that pro football. He breaks outside, makes a miss right there. Johnny Johnson, again, doing a poor job of tackling. They block into each other. Now look at the speed. Here they come. Who is that coming all the way over there?
That's Andrews.
Andrews, number 52, coming all the way from the far linebacker position.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Dolphins definitely taking command here in the second half.
I believe that's Overstreet's first big play as a Miami Dolphin.
Number 2 backfield in there right now with Woody Bennett and David Overstreet. Marino, quick throw. Great reaction from Johnny Johnson, the Ram defender, as he tried to fire it out to Nat Moore.
Great pass defense that time. Really a nice job, but you've got to be careful right there that you don't interfere with the man. Did a nice job of coming right over the top. Well, he's a gifted athlete, that guy. Out of University of Texas, a number 1 pick. But all 4 of those guys in that secondary played pro football out of Texas out here, didn't they?
And 2 of them are in this game. Blackwood, played at the same time with Johnson, Derek Hatchett from Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore. And the one kid at the 49ers. Can't think of his name.
Ricky Churchman.
Oh, are you sharp? Of course, you're from Texas.
Second and goal from the 4. Marino, Overstreet, touchdown. The Dolphins have taken charge. They lead it 30-14 with 12 minutes and 4 seconds to go, and David Overstreet paying his first dividends for
now watch
Miami.
the quarterback. The reason this is open, the quarterback makes the fullback fake and gets the linebacker who's supposed to cover it, freezes him just enough to give him the step to go ahead and get himself in the end zone. That running play fake froze the linebacker and allowed him to get out there and get that step.
Uwe von Schaman with Strong to hold. Von Foot.
I like that name, Von Foot.
Not this time. Coming up the middle, number 77 is Gary Jeter, the former New York Giant.
That's the first time we've mentioned his name all night. But, oh, just bad blocking technique by the left tackle right there. He should have blocked down, and for some reason he turned out. It's either the left tackle or left tight end. I couldn't tell. Hello, Mr. Overstreet.
Welcome back to the NFL, David Overstreet. A 77-yard drive by the Dolphins, resulting in the second touchdown pass of the game for Dan Marino, the 4-yard throw to David Overstreet. 30-14. Dolphins lead it. And von Schaman is ready to kick off. Redden, the deep man. That's the best kick from that direction. Of course, the wind has let up a bit since the rain pushed through here, and the rain is virtually stopped now.
That was still an excellent kick. Just really a good kick because there's a slight breeze.
Lots of excitement coming up on CBS Sports Saturday, including the 1983 World Figure Skating Championships, the World Cup Acrobatics Championships, and John Madden's Journey, which will explore how several former NFL players are coping with physical problems caused by football. Watch it next Saturday, November 12th, on CBS Sports Saturday. That's about time for the Rams to show something if they're going to get back in this game.
They have to right now come up with a series. Right, they will get him in the end zone. And they're capable of doing it. There goes that no-back offense right now. Look at that. He's going in motion.
Dickerson in motion. Ferragamo to throw, and he goes to Dickerson. Has it at the 20, up to the 25. Eric Dickerson to the 28-yard line. Tony Nathan, who has had a busy afternoon so far for the Dolphins, caught 4 passes.
Look at the ice pack.
Well.
Look at the ice pack, Frank.
Yeah.
People really use a lot of ice now in the prevention and the care of injuries and that thing within the National Football League and all levels of sports now.
Corey came off the field after that carry in front of the bench and was not in at the tail end of that drive. Ferragamo on 2nd and 2 again to Dickerson. 30, 35, 40. Eric Dickerson to the 43-yard line. You got to get the ball in his hands some way.
You have to. And there was a nice little screen pass out there. Kent Hill, number 72, was out in front of it. Did a nice job getting out there. And just about got a cut. Here, see, look at the big Bain, number 62, pass protecting right there. Now watch 72, right in the middle of the screen. See him coming out? Now Eric catches the ball. He's going to get up there. There was a zone defense. They were playing back off, so there was a lot of room. That's why there was such a cushion there. And the lineman actually couldn't find anybody to block. Doug Smith got a block downfield. In addition to 101 yards rushing, Dickerson has caught 7 passes in this game for 47 yards. Ferragamo this time to Gooman. Hit at the 50 and stopped short of the first down as he dives into Miami's end of the field at the 48-yard line. By the way, I mentioned CBS Sports Saturday. That's coming up a week from next Saturday, not next Saturday. That Gooman's really a talented guy, working on his MBA right now in business. And he's played to 3 or 4 different positions in college: tailback, defensive back, wide receiver. Here he is playing the U-back. Of course, he's seen the ball a lot in the past. I don't know how happy he can be in that U-back situation, which calls for you mainly to be a blocking back for Dickerson more than anything else. 2nd and 3. Redden driving for the first down. And if they give him a good mark, he should have it at the 46-yard line. Big Kent Hill, number 72, pulled and blocked Bob Brzezinski, the left linebacker, number 59, and there was great contact, but Brzezinski constricted the play enough that there wasn't enough room to go ahead and explode it. Brzezinski was the number 1 draft pick of the Rams back in 1977, got involved in a contract hassle, and eventually was traded to the Miami Dolphins. There's Bob right there. Former Ohio State All-American, 1st and 10. Rams at the Dolphin 45. Ferragamo plants it. Delivers. Little low, intended for David Hill. You know, looking at Ferragamo, I notice sometimes he seems to back up sideways. Sometimes he goes straight back. Well, he uses a pedal technique every once in a while, and you've got to be careful using the pedal technique, meaning that he just backs straight out and never turns his shoulders away from the line of scrimmage. He just stays square and backs out, and you have better vision to your left. But sometimes quarterbacks develop a habit of when they do that, they only throw to their left, and you've really got to be careful at it. Otherwise, they use the normal technique of just turning and sprinting back. You can scout that fairly easily, I imagine. You can from time to time. I can remember George Allen used to play defenses according to that in 1969. 2nd and 10. Ferragamo under pressure. Delivers. It is picked off. Intercepted on the far side. Number 48 is Gerald Small, looking for running room. Still on his feet at the 35. And decked at the 41-yard line. Ferragamo with his first pass interception of the day, 15 out of 25, but they've held him to 105 yards total. And Gerald Small
picks it off, and the Dolphins in great shape.
You really can't see it until the final second here, but he actually was double covered, short and long. You can see the safety 42 was deep on it. Now he's going to cut back here and look for some blockers. These are the times you really got to be careful as a player because there's injuries occur on these type of open field plays. And you've got to be careful for the clips and all that kind of stuff. Did a nice job of returning that ball. That's his 5th interception on the year.
Gerald Small up among the leaders in the AFC with interceptions, picking off his 5th of the year. And as we head back to play with 8:59 left in the contest, and the Dolphins leading 30-14, they have a 1st and 10 at their 40. Marino, great handoff that time as the Dolphins will try to run some time off that clock.
I thought the nose guard, Charles DeJournay, number 70, was offside. But I guess I'm the only one who thought so.
Looked like it to me, too. Overstreet on the carry that time. That's the time remaining. And the second half has been all Dolphins after we were tied at halftime at 14 apiece. Interesting year about Miami. They entered the year with 9 free agents and 20 option players, and they've managed to sign everybody save David Woodley.
And Don Shula.
And, oh yeah, the most important of all. Andre Franklin across the 45 out to the 47-yard line.
Gary Jeter in there playing for Jack Youngblood right now and did a nice job of moving inside out on that play and made it. That's how a defensive end ought to play that.
You know, I didn't know if Jack just didn't have an outstanding game, but he never quite showed up, you know, where we had a chance to call his name that often.
Well, you have to give Eric Laxo some credit, number 68, playing right tackle. You know, he's been doing a real good job on him and making him earn everything he was getting. And evidently, he sort of won the battle tonight.
3rd down. Dolphins will need 4 for the 1st from their 47. There's Laxo.
Big guy. Might be the only Finnish player of Finnish descent in the NFL. That's what they say.
Franklin finds nothing.
Broken play, I think.
Cromwell came up from the secondary. Cromwell has made several super hits in this football game. I mean, when he goes on safari, the Lions roll up the window.
Boy, he does. He has put some people down.
Reggie Roby with his first punting opportunity of the second half, and you see what he did in the first half. This time against what amounts to a breeze, not much of a wind as it was the entire first half.
Can you imagine a 49.3 punting average?
One of those was a 50-yarder against the wind. This one will stay up forever. Bounces at the 5 and on into the end zone for the touchback. But the hang time was better than 5 seconds for Reggie Roby. Timeout. Back in just a moment. 54 yards on the punt by this man, Reggie Roby, who is average now 50 yards a kick. He's the biggest punter in the league at about 240.
I know. I can't believe he lasted until the 6th round before he was drafted. He set an NCAA record in 1981 at 49.8 average. My sakes.
Shula was chortling over that yesterday. He said some of the big-time scouts in the league apparently blew in there. Ferragamo to Gooman at the 25-yard line, and Mike Gooman up to about the 33.
He was out there all alone because Bowser, number 56, got tied up inside with the receiver. Didn't get his buzz correctly out underneath that.
Gerald Small making the stop. Small, who had the interception a moment ago. So it is 1st and 10 for the Los Angeles Rams at their 33. They trailed 30-14 after the 13-yard pickup on that last play. Rams, of course, a team that's been in the playoffs, 8 years in a row up to 1980, from 73 to 80, which ties an NFL record. Trying to get back. Ferragamo with a strong sideline throw to Farmer. Farmer at the 50, 45, and down to the 40. First down, Los Angeles. So the Dolphins loosening it up a little bit, allowing the Rams perhaps to run a little time off the clock themselves as they lead by 16 at this point with 6 minutes to go in the game. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil. We are at the Orange Bowl in Miami. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left to play in this NFL game. Rams have a 1st and 10 at the Dolphin 40. They trail 30-14 as Eric Dickerson takes the handoff from Vince Ferragamo and carries to the 37-yard line. A reminder that 60 Minutes and the CBS primetime schedule will be seen in its entirety following football, except on the West Coast, where the programs will be seen at their regularly scheduled time.
Bob,
marker.
Excuse me, Bob. Turn it on.
There it is. Still didn't work, huh? It is holding against the Rams, which moves it back to the 50-yard line. Eddie, you were going to say, Dave?
Bob Brzezinski, number 59, the left linebacker for the Rams, did a super job of making that play. Dickerson is always about a step away from being clean into the secondary. What an amazing running back.
Time left in this game, 5 minutes and 35 seconds. It was tied at halftime at 14 all, but it has been all Dolphins here in the second half, which was marred by a tremendous torrential downpour. In the third period, Ferragamo setting up strong, right catch by David Hill inside the 30, and the big tight end carries to the 26 before he's shoved back.
He got open going down the hole in that double zone defense where the safeties split and go double cover both outside wide receivers, and he beat the coverage down inside. Watch the right tight end. Now see him up there on the top of the screen. He's going to come off to the outside. He's going to be isolated on Mike Kozlowski. See him right here? It's going to be isolated right there, and he found the zone right there in front of those two safeties. Nice job.
There was a penalty marker.
Let's see what happens. Who gets mad at who right here?
It's against the Dolphins. It apparently happened after the catch. And let's see if...
maybe he had a face mask.
See if Bob McElwee's mic works this time. Personal foul against the Dolphins. And that will give the Rams the ball inside the 15-yard line. They'll spot it at the 13. They need touchdowns, and they need them in a hurry. Miami is at San Francisco next week. Chicago Bears play the Rams next week. That's Denver leading Kansas City in the fourth period. First down. On the reverse, it is Farmer trying to get outside. Now coming back this way. He's back at the 20, back at the 25, looking for running room, and finally goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line for a loss of 8 yards on the play.
Vince Ferragamo got a real good block. I don't know what everybody else did, but the quarterback got a pretty good block.
Farmer just ran out of running room. That's not exactly the way you diagram it.
No, that's not what they wanted to happen, but they're looking for big plays right now. Of course, Miami can afford to play a conservative defense. Right down here, they don't have to play man-to-man, even though they have very little field of defense. They can go ahead and play zone and don't stunt, red dog, or safety blitz.
Well, John Robinson can't be too happy the way things are going for the Rams. A loss here will put them at 5-4. And depending on what San Francisco and the Jets do, they could be 2 games out. Second down, 19. Ferragamo over the middle. Farmer hit at the 19-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the play. Ernie Roan, number 55, made the stop. Young man who's coming back after a 3-week bout with pneumonia.
He crossed the formation and then ran underneath the coverage of the Miami Dolphins. Just caught that short ball, hoping to get more out of it, of course, but didn't get it. You know, the Rams are playing without Mike Barber right now, too, so that hamstring must be bothering him. Remember they said he hurt it Wednesday in the practice field?
He did. First, a lot of injury problems for the Dolphins among their linebackers. They have had 8 linebackers injured this year. Third down, 15 from the 19. Ferragamo trying to get 6. It is intercepted in the end zone for the touchback by Blackwood. Glenn Blackwood, number 47. That's the second interception for the Dolphins. He is the younger of the 2 Blackwood brothers from the University of Texas.
He's something, you know, here it goes right now. I don't know why Vince threw this, because there's all kinds of people back there, and he was trying again to get the ball to that tight end that he completed just a few plays back into that zone, and that guy was just sitting there waiting for it.
4 minutes, 12 seconds left to play in the game. We'll be back in just a moment. Glenn Blackwood, who made the interception. Remember, he told Hook 'em horns. Yeah, he told me yesterday, he gave me a shot. He said, boy, I used to watch you when I was growing up in San Antonio. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Dolphins just trying to run the clock out now. The Rams 30-14 with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in this contest. And we welcome those of you who have been watching the Green Bay-Cincinnati game. Frank Lieber along with Dick Vermeil. We're in the Orange Bowl with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this game. And the Miami Dolphins assuming command in the second half after a 14-all tie at halftime. It's been all Dolphins. 30-14. Miami has the ball. They have a 2nd and 9 at their 20-yard line. And another fine performance by their rookie quarterback, Dan Marino, handing off there to Andre Franklin.
Really a nice job by the linebackers filling in. Hey, look at these guys here.
Think they're happy?
Mike Charles, number 71. He's a rookie playing as a starter tonight in place of Kim Bogenkamper.
Cincinnati beating Green Bay 34-14 in that contest. And we'll try to pass along other finals for you. This now final, the Jets beat San Francisco. So even if the Rams lose, which seems probable, they'll be just one game behind the San Francisco 49ers. Despite the fact their record will be 5-4. 3rd down 6. Dolphins at their 24. Marino just sticking on the ground. Goes to Andre Franklin. They're looking at 4th and 5. And some upsets in the league today. Rather interesting Sunday as we start the second half of the season. Keep in mind that those of you who are 60 Minutes fans, stay with us. It in the primetime schedule in its entirety right after the conclusion of this football game, except on the West Coast, where 60 Minutes and the rest of the primetime lineup will be seen at the regular time. Once again, Reggie Roby punting against the breeze for the Miami Dolphins. This guy has put on an exhibition.
He really has. You know, he was a high school tight end and an all-state baseball player. So, you know, he's a talented athlete as well as just a punter.
Clock is run down to the 2-minute warning. We'll be back in Miami in just a moment. Miami leading the Rams at the 2-minute warning, and Roby getting ready to punt it. Another big day for Dan Marino, the rookie quarterback, in his 4th start. He hit 25 out of 38 today for 280 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And his first interception in 96 throws right at the end of the first half. Great kick. Johnny Johnson waiting for this one. Fields it at the 30, 35. And Johnson is knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Hang time 4.9. And I think you'll take that anytime, huh?
Oh, anytime.
Let's take a look at the final scores we have. Danny White, 5 touchdown passes for Dallas today as the Cowboys beat the Giants 38-20. Tampa Bay was ahead in that game. Pittsburgh won it. St. Louis with a big victory, upsetting Minnesota 41-31.
We'll see them next week against Washington.
Detroit over Chicago 38-17. Buffalo beating New Orleans. Great game, 27-21. Atlanta topped New England 24-13. Falcons starting to come on. Baltimore edging the Eagles 22-21. 5 field goals by Raul Alegre in that one. Ferragamo over the middle to Guman. 40-45 out to the 47-yard line. Picked up just about 10. Just about enough for the first down. More final scores. 3rd time this year. Houston has gone to overtime and lost it as Cleveland beat them.
Oh, gosh, that's tough to take. Losing's bad enough, but to lose 3 in that kind of situation.
Denver leading Kansas City in the 4th period. The battle between John Makovic and Dan Reeves. Both were on Tom Landry's staff. And Cincinnati topping Green Bay 34-14. That's also a final. Jets beating San Francisco. Ferragamo hitting Guman at the 50-yard line to the 48. Clock runs down to the 1-minute mark here at the Orange Bowl Stadium in Miami, Florida. Seattle and the Raiders are still at it out of the West Coast, but it looks like Seattle pretty well has a lock on it. And we gave you this one a moment ago. The Jets beating San Francisco 27-13, which means for those of you who follow the Rams closely, that they will remain just one game behind. And, Atlanta's starting to come on, and New Orleans a pretty good team in that West.
That's going to be a tough division this second half. They've got 16 rounds to fight in an NFC division race. They fought 8 rounds. This next 8 rounds, each round is going to be a tough one.
And, of course, the Dolphins with a victory here helps them tremendously. This is the way things look in the NFC West. San Francisco with the game edge over the Los Angeles Rams. And New Orleans still hanging in there, and Atlanta coming on now with 2 straight victories. This does not count today, but the status quo situation would remain as regards those first 2 clubs. With the Rams 1 game behind.
And a tie for second.
And, of course, Buffalo and Miami. Miami with a victory here will get its 6th of the year, and they once again will be tied with Buffalo for the top spot in the AFC East. And Miami, after a slow start this year, they really got rolling.
Well, they had so many injuries, Frank.
Coming up, Brett Musburger with scores and highlights 1 minute and 1 second away. That's how much time is left in this NFL interconference game between the Rams and the Dolphins here at the Orange Bowl. Ferragamo going for the consolation touchdown to Dickerson. Down to the Dolphin 40 to the 35-yard line. He has pretty well been held in check, hasn't he, in the second half?
Well, he had the one nice run in the first half, like you say, but in the second half, like they've kept him in control. The Miami offense has done a good job of staying on the field, too.
Dickerson actually had 2 runs in the first half, 1 for 40, 1 for 31. It was a real knockdown drag-out for 1 half with the score tied at 14 at intermission. Marino had the big bomb to Mark Duper, which was their big play in the first half. And Marino winds up throwing yet another touchdown pass. Tony Nathan scores his first touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have themselves a very impressive victory. And 60 minutes is coming up shortly, so stay with us. Marino on first down. Sideline throw. Denard out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Another guy we haven't heard much from today is Mike Barber, the tight end, who's been a big target all year, their leading receiver.
Well, he came into the game with a hamstring problem, and evidently it really bothered him. Don's got to be excited. Don't look so ornery, Don. You're winning.
Well, he's happy now because they just said that Denard was out of bounds when he caught that ball.
No, he's still not happy.
Yeah. Again, coming up tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Brand new episodes there, followed by Alice, One Day at a Time, the Jeffersons, Goodnight, Beantown, and Crapper John M.D. Clock is down to 45 seconds. 2nd and 10. Rams from the Dolphin 35. Ferragamo, a little floater this time, almost had it picked off. Ernie Roan, number 55, the linebacker, was there. Next week, another complete schedule of games right here on CBS for you, highlighted by the Cowboys meeting with the Philadelphia Eagles that many of you will see, particularly in the southwest and the northwest part of the country, and also in the east. And in addition, many of you will be watching Atlanta play New Orleans, Tampa Bay at Minnesota, St. Louis at Washington. Those are all, the other 2 are early starts. St. Louis, Washington will be a late starting game, as will the Bears match up with the Rams, which will be on in Southern California, the Midwest, and parts of the Northeast. Gooman on the completion goes out of bounds to stop the clock at the 23-yard line. That's enough for the first down with 32 seconds remaining. I'll tell you one thing, Ferragamo has really made use of his running backs as receivers in this contest. Dickerson has caught 8 balls for 59 yards, and that is Gooman's eighth catch. 16 receptions by the 2 running backs.
Well, early in the game, remember, I think even in the pregame show, we stated that we thought that Miami would force the Rams to throw the ball to the tight end and the running backs and that kind of thing, and take away those 2 outside receivers, and they've done a good job of doing that.
Rams going for the consolation touch here.
Interception.
That looked like it had interception written all over it, and Judson, who you'll recall, has 3 interceptions in 1 quarter against the New York Jets a couple of weeks back.
He's playing in the place of the injured Don McNeil, who tore an Achilles tendon in training camp, and started slow, gained confidence, and has really come on strong now. Has 4 interceptions. Between the 2 corners, they have 9 interceptions.
And as a team, the Dolphins now have 18, which will put them well up among the leaders. Brett Musburger coming up shortly with the NFL wrap-up show. We'll have scores and standings for you. That's just 26 seconds away, so stay with us. Picked off. And that'll be returned for some distance by Lyle Blackwood. 35 out to the 40. Blackwood at the 50. And caught by David Hill at the 49. So Lyle says, well, Brother Glenn got one. I guess I'll get mine.
Didn't want to be overshadowed by the little brother. There's a guy playing on his 5th football team.
So there's
Bill
a man who
Arnsparger.
he is proud of his defense. Bill Arnsparger, the assistant head coach, in charge of defense. What a job he has done.
Oh, he's a very fine football coach, very much respected in the National Football League. The players really respect him. I think Vince is just going for broke. He has nothing to lose. He's going to try to force it in down there in that zone. He's sitting back there, comes underneath it, dissects it. Now, here's where you got to be careful. Injuries occur in those kind of plays.
And Marino takes the snap, and that should do it. Ferragamo, 23 out of 38 for 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marino, 25 out of 38 for 280 yards. Stay with us. Brett Musburger coming up shortly with all the scores and highlights as the Dolphins have beaten the Rams here at the Orange Bowl in Miami, 30-14.